Yeah,
it's not my favorite.
It's not the spice, but
it's not my
you know how they sometimes it's peppercorn crusted steak or things like that. For me, that's a little bit of a pass on that, but this will be okay. All right, so yeah, go Jays, go. It's going to be Obi and Joe right here on the
Oh shoot, we got a super chat. Do we get this one?
We can try quickly.
From Joe Mama.
Oh, that guy.
Hey guys, I got a gift for y'all.
Perfect.
What? I'm outside the office. Who do I give it to? You're out right now? Well, okay. Well, I guess one of them.
Normally Brendan's here.
Yeah, usually Brendan would have gone. So
maybe Randy.
Yeah, I don't know. Randy's probably back there.
You can just knock on the door and someone will.
Yeah, knock on the door.
Oh man, that sucks, Joe Mama.
Yeah,
give us a little bit of a notice. You got to email marketing@tradertv.live.
We had no clue.
And that way we'd be able to figure.
Hopefully, it's not tilapia.
You stay there. I'm going to go to the gym. I'll come.
How much jokes would it be if someone actually just let you know? No, I shouldn't say that because then someone's going to bring tilapia.
If Joe Mama has a fresh tilapia here, and I'm going to take it. You know when IRC used to say this person got slapped with a trout.
Yes.
Or whatever.
That was the best part of IRC.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was just a chat for back office to trading floors, so you could discuss like if we're having an issue. This gateway went down. We used IRC back in the day. Let's go over to Obi and Joey options. Joey runway. Joby.
All right. See you, helicopters.
Talk. Shout out to Poetan. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the midday show. This is your boy Joey. Next to me is Obi. I hope everyone's having a fantastic session so far. Let's let some people roll into the chat here. A lot going on this morning. I mean, we can talk. We're going to talk all day. We got the next 3 hours to talk about stocks, Obi. So we better get it out because leading into this evening, we have the Toronto Blue Jays playing in the World Series. Let's go! Man, oh man.
Are you watching tonight or?
Oh,
where are you watching? Where are you watching? That's a good question.
You're muted and Unity. No mute. You're not even tapped in, man. Come on.
No, I was not. It's not on.
Okay, it's not on. It's not muted. It's not on.
What's going on?
All right. All right there.
Here we go.
Let's see who we got in the chat.
Locked and loaded.
We're locked and loaded. Let's see who we got in the chat today. Oh, we got Wolf. We got Kelby Buckley. What's going on? Hands, Beer, Brown Lightning. Zachary, Relajo de Relajos, Don Sharifo, Jason Gogni, G-Talk, 5150, what's going on? Wolf, Andrew Chow, Super No-No, Aura Alpha, okay, I see you. Who else do we got? Jason, how could I ever forget? Mike P, the writer, my guy Jag as well, he's in the chat, guys. Where is Gorev? Where is Los Polios Hermanos? We got Juggernaut, we got High Vibrations. Who else do we got? One more, OB, Yannick Nesbitt.
Boom.
Yannick Nesbitt. All right, my friends. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Obi, how's yours going?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. Some crazy price action off of the open. If you guys were watching Tesla at all today, that was pretty wild here. Yeah, what did I even trade? Sometimes I don't even know what I touched here in the morning. Okay, so some Tesla in the pre-market. That's what I had. I actually tried to punch. Here, I'll pull up my Tesla chart. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, that should be Tesla. We'll pull this one up here as well. I was watching, oh wow, that gave it up pretty nicely. TSLA, so that's the book here. We'll go down to 1 minute to kind of look at what I was doing here in the pre-market. So in the pre-market, I was like, all right, like, yeah, CPI came in and I started pretty lightly. I was like, all right, I want to look for that push into 250. I want to build some inventory into 250. It came in with a bit of a clip of that 249.50 area in the pre-market off of that CPI number, and a nice reversion. So yeah, pretty much like doing the opposite of the reversion, but keeping that bigger picture in mind, I'm like, all right, what's the likelihood that we kind of clip that 450 today? Coming in off of the open, this was absolutely wild. That wick is real. That is not a dark pool wick. This thing slaps all the way up almost to 252s, and then just slams down to 246s. There was a buyer in the pre-market holding that 446s. That's what I was kind of looking at earlier here, and that's what I wanted to kind of risk against. So didn't really hold it into the open. That was a little bit of a mistake. I was like, yeah, imbalances, don't really want to deal with that. But like, dude, the trade's a trade. Take the trade. If the imbalances knock you out, then it is what it is, right? And the thing is, the follow through did come in. There was a lot of liquidity in and around 450, 451. So that was pretty wild. What else did I do here? We can take a look at. Oh right,
Joe Mama, what's up, brother? Yo,
what's happening?
What's going on? This is Joe Mama, man.
Mama.
See you in the chat. How's it going, brother? Very nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. I'm assuming. Oh yeah.
This is Joe Mama. I was not expecting to make it all the way to inside to the computer, the station.
Yeah, now you're inside,
I was just
man.
expecting to give him the gift.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Joel,
very nice to meet you.
everyone in real life.
You're in here now. You can't leave.
Joe,
Yeah,
Joseph too.
Yeah.
My name is Joseph, and oh boy.
We got a fan.
Oh, snap.
He works just in Mississauga, just outside of Toronto.
I work.
Yeah, I know.
I am from Mississauga. Nice to meet you all.
Very
and I did the campus program.
Oh, okay. Right on.
But I chose not to continue.
Okay.
Made me stressful.
It's
definitely
not
I don't know how
easy,
y'all
man.
can do it. I am very. I admire how you guys can do it every day, and it's very tough business.
Yes.
Oh yeah. It's not easy, man.
Tell everybody how legit this is.
Yeah.
All over
So many cables.
Lots of cables.
A lot of cables.
LED panels.
Hey, listen, I'm going to go to the gym. Talk to Neil for a couple seconds. I know you
I gotta go too. I came here with a work vehicle.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Nice meeting you.
Joe Mama, we'll see you in the chat, brother.
care.
Have a good one. Bang, just like that.
All right.
Shout out to Joe Mama. What's up, man?
Live in the studio.
Live in the studio.
Let's go.
Let's
go. That's awesome.
Anything for you,
Joe
Assassino.
Mama.
Let's see if this thing's working.
Where we go? Oh, it's different.
It's a
not
little bit
21
different.
It was 21
A couple
You're telling me
percentage
more
points
people
different.
unsubscribed?
More
Come on.
people unsubscribed. That's not good.
Hey, yo.
It's good. It's good.
It's better. It's better, he's saying.
It's
okay.
better.
All right.
Maybe yesterday it was 22 and a half. But I mean, that's as real as it gets. He shows up here.
Think about it. You guys are number boys. So if the bottom, if not subscribers is a bigger number, the average is going to be way smaller.
Right.
Love it.
Here's the thing, man. I'm not a numbers guy.
I'm not a numbers
totally
guy.
not
I'm
good
just,
at quick maths.
Yeah, no.
I just like I just like to read the rainbow on the thing. What numbers? I'm indifferent to price most of the time. So
2 plus 2 is 4.
Quick maths.
That man is Akas. All right, anyway. Yeah, what do you mean? You got it. Hey, now. The sky is falling. All right, hey now.
All right. Okay, so where's the next trade? That's what I'm looking at
In all
right
seriousness,
now.
guys, let's go. Joey Circle Apple is going wild. I know, I'm not even looking at it. I don't know what I'm doing trading. Anyways, let me break down what I got going on this morning. We had the short. I'm like, okay, I love short on the Bitcoin right now, breaking through some key levels. Boom, boom, boom. We added to the position, and then we just get out too prematurely. I mean, hindsight 2020, but I missed this whole additional leg lower, and then boom, you come back to VWAP, gives you the obviously the additional reload opportunity. And I'm like, all right, it sold off aggressively. It bounced off of here. Let me try a long, stick to the tight stop with it. And then now I'm just super long again. So heavy. And I honestly just put on a couple shares right there for you guys so it would pop up on the board to see if we can get any more rock and roll. But this last ad is nothing substantial, and that's full disclosure. But as for my other trades as well, too, guys, Intel, INTC, I'll break down in a moment why I'm taking these longs on Bitcoin. I like our chances. Like, my primary target is going to be the volume weighted average price. If I get there, then I'm going to be taking off 60% of the position. But yeah, we had the Intel. We were long on Intel off the initial jump. Wasn't working. I'm like, you know what? If it's not a long, it's a short. Bang, light bulb moment, right? No, obviously being extremely sarcastic there, but we go short and then once again get out a little bit too early there. So, I mean, we had one good short on IBIT earlier and a missed out long and a half decent, I guess we'll call this a loss on INTC, but what I have unrealized right now on IBIT, which is about to go buck wild hopefully, is substantially more than what I've lost on every single trade. So unrealized, big time green. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. 6270 is what your boy's looking for. Let's see if we can get that coming into play there, Obi, as we're now at 6266, breaking a little bit higher. I want to break down quickly before I send it back to you, my friend, is why am I in this? Well, I can tell you very simply. Whoa, what was that? Oh, it's hazardous.
What is that?
What is that? It's a hazard. It's a biohazard. We got to check out what we got going on here. Guys, a lot of buying pressure here, Obi, and that's why I was looking to get involved with the long. You can see buyers continuously pushing price a little bit higher and higher. And I'm like, okay, we're not establishing any new lows. We filled this gap. Now let's see if we can head up into VWAP.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother, what do you got?
I like that. VWAP is what I'm looking at here on AMD. AMD, there were buyers at VWAP right off of the open. That was nice. I kind of missed that push, but that came in real hot. And then, yeah, I like the buying. Kind of, I got stopped out on the push, and I sized down significantly, and I'm like, all right, let's see how far it can get into VWAP. So I start buying. I'm like, all right, 249's kind of cracked. I'm like, all right, I don't want to do more buying until VWAP actually comes in, or I take a loss down here through that VWAP, any sort of distinct selling. And then that VWAP comes in, right side, boom, 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 get aggressive. Through the break, boom, 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 get aggressive. And then a little bit of a
oh, there we go, Obi. Oh my days.
Here. What's happening?
Oh, sorry.
IBIT, Bitcoin breaking out. But yeah, that was a trade on AMD. What do you got going on there?
Oh yeah, right into VWAP, baby. There it is. What a massive push higher. I'm gonna take a little bit more off there, guys, just because we hit that target. Bang, just like that. As quick as you like. Red to green on the Friday. Let's rock and roll. Sorry to interrupt you there. I was surprised by that pop there.
Yeah. That price action always makes me scream sometimes too. And I'm just like, oh, what's happening there?
Man.
253 is back down into VWAP. So what we were talking about, like VWAP buyers were there in the morning. VWAP buyers were there at around 9:50. VWAP buyers once again at 10:30. Let's see if we see more of the same here on AMD as it pushes back into 249s. VWAP at about 11. It's 11:13 right now. So
okay.
yeah, let's keep eyes on that one. Let's see if we see more of the same. Participants were very strong, and then they've been continuing to hold these areas. The question is, does it step up on top of VWAP? We know that breakouts have been pretty solid. We saw what Tesla did yesterday. That was absolutely amazing. And then, coming into today, AMD is a high flyer. Ford, with their earnings, was a high flyer as well. If you were looking at IBM was great as well. IBM very, very strong off of the open, and wow, continues to stay strong almost at that 300 mark. We know that there's a lot of buzz going on around quantum. A lot of people look at IONQ, Rigetti, this, that, and the other, but IBM is also a very strong candidate in that sector, just my opinion. But it's been showing some good strength. We can take a look at the weekly here as well. That's coming in real nice. You can see beautiful reversion off of, well, you guys already see my anchors. I've been putting these on for a couple of years, and just arbitrary chart art. But when they come and sustain some significant ones, like for example the one from the bottom from April of last year, right? Boom, it's just straight chop. The range, the trend range is expanding a little bit. You can see here, every time we make a higher high and a higher low, that leg, the range of those legs is expanding. And yeah, I kind of like that. 300 on the horizon potentially, and this bid coming in this week is absolutely solid off of their earnings earnings report. They got slammed on their earnings. Do you know that?
Ford?
No, IBM did.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes,
and it recovered pretty much, right?
Recovered pretty much the whole thing. Today we're coming up into reference prices from the reaction high of the earnings report on IBM, and that was 298.77. Right now, the high a day is 298.60. So we're just about there, only about 50 pennies in and around that area. So that's I'm watching for that. Let's see if IBM kind of does its thing. But I was looking for that continuation, that long off of the open. Didn't quite take it. So it is what it is. So that's what I got looking at. Let me know in the chat what you guys are looking at as well, and I'm more than willing to kind of check that out. 25,500 on the Nasdaq.
Yeah.
What strength, man. We love that CPI, and people were talking about like, oh, the reason why they're actually releasing CPI because they might have something on their hands, right?
Yeah.
While the government's shut down. So that was an interesting bid, kind of coming into it as well. Yeah, that's what I'm watching. Let me know in the chat what you guys are watching. There's a lot of opportunities in this market, and I'm going to reiterate this. I keep saying this. I guess week after week now, I'm just like, okay, well, I just want to sit on my hands and wait for an opportunity to fall into my lap. Like, where are the easy money trades?
Yeah, for
What's
real.
setting up clean? There's so many things that are setting up. Some are choppy, some are difficult, some of these arenas are hella ranked. So it's
like 6th, 7th prestige at least.
Yeah,
bro.
6, 7. That's
Oh,
kind of
6,
what
7.
that 450 was on Tesla this morning.
I don't even know what that means, man. I don't know what that means. But I didn't even mean to say that. I didn't even mean to say that. I was just saying, well, this is high level prestige.
Yeah.
But that it doesn't mean anything? Neil was saying, I don't even really understand what Neil was saying to me, to be honest with you.
That's what
Like, he was just saying, if you're in the club, then you know. So if you know, you know. So now you know. And I'm like, all right. I have really no idea. I'm sure the chat will inform me. Guys, I'm just going through some things. Yeah, there you go. The more you know. I mean, here it is, guys. I did take a little bit more than half off, and we're starting to pull back in aggressively here. I should have took, I think 70% would have been the ideal move there, but Goreb, nice pickup. That's what I was trying to do. I was just running through my algo right now to see if it picked up specific signals. We got some moves on IBIT. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks, man. Yep. So we got the move on IBIT that we were looking for. Now we're starting to pull back a little aggressively. What I wanted to take a look at was to see if we picked up anything on the Qs. No, so we didn't. It didn't fit the criteria, and then that's okay. We're not going to complain about it. Maybe it did on the TQs, but I highly doubt it. So not too bad. We won't complain about that whatsoever. But then here with INTC, even though it's a losing trade, it's picking up exactly what I wanted to and giving me the precise entry that I'm looking for, which is really, really positive. And it's the exact same thing from, I think it was a couple days ago. So yeah, we're picking up some big time things here on this. Again, it's not going to be 100%, but you can see that the performance and the profit factor are really profitable. And I mean, this is what I was telling Jag. I think on a good name, it shoots around 40%, but your profit factor is around like 1.5 to 2, and then your performance is good as well on some of these tickers. We can go back to IBIT and see just its performance over a list of trades, and that's going to be 14 trades, total open trades 1. You go 50% here and look at the performance, and you head over to your profit factor of 1.8. So whatever, I mean, it's not whatever I cooked up, it's what I cooked up is absolutely beautiful there, Obi, to take one from you. And I'm honestly looking so forward to actually forward testing this a little bit more and getting it connected to the API. So yeah, lots going on with the algo. I'm just going to continuously call it the O. Brissa, I don't know what it means, to be honest with you. I'm not going to call myself ancient or anything like that, but I am no longer in my 20s and know what all that this like. I watch once in a while, but I haven't watched the new season there, Assassino. So, Obi, you were asking me earlier in the day what I was doing. Well, it's one of my good friend's birthday, the one who I just went to his wedding. He's turning 34, so he's getting up there as well. Obviously being sarcastic, but he's a massive Jays fan. Might be a bigger Jays fan than Neil, to be honest.
Really?
Neil's like, no,
he's a super fan.
Yeah, Neil's a super fan.
Neil's a super fan.
Yeah, obviously just pulling his tail there. No, but he's a massive fan. This guy watches so many games, and yeah, we're gonna cook up as a crew, get the boys together, and we got some penne alla vodka and some other things rocking and rolling for his birthday. There we go on IBIT. Let's get back into these markets, guys. If there's anything specific that you want us to take a look at, I know a bunch of individuals were mentioning SMCI to me and being patient, and those who wait, good things come to them. So let's check this out. Maybe it picked up, the Algo picked this up here. I don't think so. But anyways, that's not a bad grab off of those lows. Multiple attempts here, indecision print. It just needed to do an additional liquidity grab and starting to climb a little bit higher. I haven't even looked at Apple today, full disclosure. Bang, who are you? This is absolutely insane. continuing to climb a little bit higher, Obi. Not quite all-time highs, but an absolute beautiful move there in Apple. And AMD hasn't been horrible either, guys. Bang, another all-time high on advanced money duplicator. You go from destroyer to duplicator. That's what I call evolving, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's definitely evolved into something more. And we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago when I was like, all right, now AMD finally has that bid.
Yep.
Right? It has the seal of approval from a strong, like OpenAI bids are pretty wild, right? But OpenAI is just like, all right, we're finally using these chips to come in. And I was having this conversation with Sean a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, what's the likelihood? NVIDIA got to where it got to because it was selling shovels in the gold rush.
Exactly.
Now,
very well
OpenAI is like, hey, we got another shovel provider as well. So AMD's stepping up to the plate.
Bang.
Right? So I'm like, all right, cool. What is the probability? What's the likelihood that AMD starts traveling up in terms of that constituent rank?
Very high.
Already this morning, I saw a post that AMD is now the 25th largest company by market cap. So it's slowly starting to climb up. It's doing that thing. And as price kind of starts to climb as well, as we're seeing that 250, if that 250 holds well and we continue, we consolidate, price accepts a little bit higher, we're poised for more. Yep. Right? And if we're poised for more, let's say we go another $50, because look at the momentum from where we're coming from. If that momentum continues, if the trend continues in the same relative fashion that it has been, then yeah, I think it can slowly start stepping up. I don't know if it's going to be the number one. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, just listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's only what's the likelihood that it starts climbing up the ranks, and it already has.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So I think good things definitely in the future for AMD, man.
Listen, Obi. I completely agree with you there. I think at the beginning of this AI race in 22 or whatever, when it started, it was supposed to be NVDA and AMD. AMD was lagging. It was in over a year of a bear market. Well, NVDA had other plans, but now it's playing catch up. Broadcom came into that second place, but watch out for Lisa Su and company, because I think they got a lot going on for themselves. So yeah, just keep an eye on it. If it's done this already, you're a couple percentage points off of that previous all-time high, 10% maybe roughly. I haven't looked just yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it continued to go. These names are so strong. The capex is probably going to remain heavy. As soon as that starts to cool down, then that's when you have to start paying attention to things. Yeah. Now, let's take a look at Broadcom. I'm going to be rambling on here a little bit. There's a lot of things that we want to go over here. So what we have is Broadcom breaking out. We were talking about the number 2 player. Who is it? Like, that's the thing, right? It's like, who's the GOAT? Who's that number 2 individual? It's like, okay, who's the best basketball player of all time? Is it LeBron James? Is it Michael Jordan? Is it Steph Curry? Who is it?
Jordan, for sure.
Jordan.
For sure.
Steph Curry, man.
Jordan, he changed the game.
Kobe? Is it Kobe?
Kobe's up there.
There's a lot of names you got to go through before I want to hear Steph Curry out your mouth for the greatest player of all time.
Straight facts.
Wow.
All right? If you want to say Michael Jordan, of course it's him. If you want to say LeBron James, I can respect that. If you want to say Wilt Chamberlain or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, fair enough. Magic Johnson is acceptable for an answer. But there's a lot of Kobe Bryant is acceptable for. But Steph Curry is a great player. He'll have a great career. But come on, son. Nobody is putting him in the GOAT conversation.
I don't know,
because he couldn't guard a closed door.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe he won't. Okay, so he's not the GOAT, but he's the greatest shooter of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're the greatest shooter, do you not deserve to be in the conversation of one of the best players?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely not.
All right,
Does the greatest shot blocker deserve to be in the conversation automatically because they could block shots? Nah, there's more to the game than just that.
Well, I mean, think about how revolutionary Stephen Curry has been to the game. All kids want to do now is jack threes.
I'll tell you this right now. I can name you 2 dudes who shot pretty much in the range of Steph Curry, but the game, he didn't change the game. The game was already changing to threes.
Who, Ray Allen and who?
No, see, this is how I'm old school. 2 names you don't know. Drazen Petrovic and Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Mahmoud would have dropped 25 to 30 a game in the way they play now. But back then, you weren't allowed to jack 10 to 15 threes a game. He could have done that. When the days he was allowed to shoot like that, trust me, he'd drop 50 on people. But it was a different game. You weren't allowed to just shoot threes like crazy, or they put you on the bench. If you could have, he would have crushed it. And Drazen Petrovic died in a car accident in his prime. That's why nobody knows him.
I didn't know.
He was like, that dude was the GOAT shooter before any of these. Better shooter than Ray Allen, better shooter than Reggie Miller. He's just ridiculous. Better shooter than Larry Bird. But because he died young, no one knows him. That's all. Anyways, back to trading.
Rest in peace. Back to trading is right, guys. So there's.
I just remember Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade was a great player as well, too. I wouldn't put him up there, but he was probably one of the best shooting guards of all time.
What's an older player that I know? And one of my buddies during high school, he just loved Dwayne Wade.
Shout out to him. You know what's funny? Because no one's really talking about Kevin Durant. I think that guy's just, I respect his game and everything along those lines, but I just don't think he's like a crowd favorite. Obviously, to each their own, but I think there's some more likable individuals than KD, considering everybody was calling him a bandwagoner because essentially he went from OKC to the team who we lost in the Western Conference Finals over to Golden State and then won championships there. So if you look at KD's history, he's never really done it with a team that hasn't been established already. All right, so anyways, let's get back to this market, guys. Being the greatest shoe in basketball don't mean much. Okay, all right, 2NY. We're going to get off the basketball talk because there's a lot going on. Man, these signals on the Qs have been absolutely phenomenal. We like this here, guys. I'm glad that you took that, Goreb. I was thinking about taking a short. What's the best? Whoa. Soccer, basketball, football, or baseball?
Basketball.
Hockey's not up there?
Oh, I'm
not even voting.
That's a good question. He's not even participating. No, come on, you gotta participate. If you were to pick one of those, if you've been given a choice.
Right? I'm going football.
Okay, all right.
I'm going football because I played UFC easily. I love the UFC. You know that. But I don't know. I think I would say that more countries play hockey than countries that play baseball.
Really?
I could be wrong. Yeah, well, you got to think about it.
No, you're right.
You got to think about Northern Europe. They're all playing hockey. You have North America here as well too. I mean, it's the United States. Canada plays baseball. You got some Caribbean countries. Japan are big baseball individuals. But I think cricket might be a little bit bigger than baseball. I could be wrong. Neil's probably turning in his seat right now.
Cricket is way bigger than
Exactly. So
the IPL is the next biggest league in the world.
Next, out of the NFL? I wouldn't even say the NFL is, what do you mean that? The NFL is the biggest league in the world? I don't know.
No, by dollars.
By dollars, yeah, by dollars. Okay, that's fair enough. Anyways, yeah, hockey all around, man. I voted football because I played it, but I love the sports talk. It is Friday, and most definitely we got the Jays tonight, but we also want to talk about what's going on in the overall market. Let's pull up our best performing sectors on the session. We're going to go through our options chain. I don't know who else is a little frustrated that hockey's on there other than myself, but maybe we'll figure that out later. I know a lot of Northern Americans love playing hockey. Even so, I mean, Austin Matthews is from Arizona. Who would have thought one of the greatest Toronto Maple Leafs of all time would have been from Arizona, right? Super chat. All right.
All right, yeah.
Whoa, MKD, what is this? What's up from Macedonia? Okay, some Macedonia dollars here. Canadian living here, trading full-time. Appreciate you bringing up WGRX. Which company do you think is actually leveraging blockchain well? Let's take a look at it. I'm not overly versed on this name, WGRX, but we can take a look at the technicals and we can go over that aspect. I know that I'm hearing a dare. I didn't get the green light yet. So we'll be patient. Let's do this here, for our super chat first, and then we'll send it over. So yeah, I mean, it's breaking out. The volume is supporting it. I think there's a key level that you want to keep an eye out on. That's going to be that $1.83. There is some selling pressure already stepping into this underlying asset, so keep an eye out on that. But a gap up with some volume supporting it. This looks like it's a biotech here, so you're going to get that volatility. I think it's boom or bust with a lot of these names. So be prepared to make a lot of money or lose it all. Adair, what do you got?
Yeah, take a look here at RCAT. This is Red Cat Holdings. James Altucher calling this one a long idea, saying it could be a small cap stock for the next generation of AI. I'm also seeing a note here on Tesla circulating. I'm unclear if this is brand new, but it is just now being circulated and posted in social media, so I wanted to mention it nonetheless. Seeing that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or the NHTSA, is in contact with Tesla over its Mad Max driver assistant mode, saying that apparently this mode allows vehicles to operate at higher speeds than other FSD systems or settings. Keep an eye on TSLA, but especially here, RCAT. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Adara. Yeah, let's take a quick look at what you guys are up to here. I got everything set up now, so let's see. I still haven't voted yet. I'm gonna be like, all right, what's the best sport? I'm gonna straight up go for basketball, right? Okay. Baller for life. Let's go. But you know, I like. I haven't really been exposed as much to baseball. When I used to live in the States, we played softball every now and then. But soccer, I think I spoke on soccer before. I was just like, yeah, I don't know. Like I used to be a pretty chubby kid, and I did not like running. Cardio was not one of my strengths, I would say.
Strong suit,
but eventually, I'm just like, yeah, basketball needs a lot of cardio as well, and I'd get pretty winded. But yeah, I like it a lot better. Yeah, it's a lot better. There's more. I don't know. It's just I just never got exposed to soccer like that. But baseball, I would try it. Definitely, I want to play, but volleyball was one of them. Volleyball. I was definitely very involved with volleyball. I like that a lot, and then badminton as well. I know a lot of
Shout out to volleyball in the Olympics.
If you want to call that, yeah.
Volleyball.
Quick reaction time. I like that.
Yeah, volleyball in the Olympics is good stuff there too.
Yeah.
Market's
pushing to the upside. We're going to talk about stocks today, or what? Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
Let's go. Come on, man.
Let's take a look at some stocks here.
Nick Norozo.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the next trade.
Beer pong is up there. I wish beer pong was an Olympic sport.
Yeah. Like beer pong, that was if there was a league for beer pong, I think I'd do pretty well there. Yeah. You know, crispy saying beer pong for sure. Let's try to play some beer pong here with these markets. I want to see what Tesla's up to and see if we got a shot in on this one. The shorts have been absolutely solid on this name, and yeah, that first candle kind of told the whole story here. Neil even said earlier that was some nasty business. Dude, Neil, I tried to punch 250.
So
thank God I didn't get it. The way, like I saw that 250 coming, I didn't have an edge A, and you know how I like to take some of these breaks. I like to look for that momentum into it, and that momentum was definitely there as we broke 448s, and I tried to punch all the way up here at 450s. I did not get filled because I did not cross far enough on that one. But that's you know, a little bit of luck. You know, that's it is what it is. But I think I had to stick with it here. That aggressive flush, hold a VWAP. Again, we talk about VWAP players being strong and aggressive, right? Every test into VWAP has been sold off on Tesla, distinctly different than that of the action from yesterday, right? Yesterday, you have strong VWAP buyers and then a strong extension away from VWAP as well. This was absolutely ridiculous. I did not touch a lot of this for the short, but when this structure started to come in, I definitely got very, very aggressive. Maybe a little too aggressive, some would say, but you know, it is what it is. I got stopped out into this little pop, and guess what? I got right back in because I was like, nope, not without me. I'm taking this all the way back down, but did not come into VWAP. I was kind of, you know, I think I was getting a little greedy because I was like, oh, VWAP's all the way down here. This is where that prior consolidation is, where we broke out from. This was that weekly kind of a push as well. So I'm looking for it to come in and revert to VWAP, but here's the thing. The trade isn't reversion to VWAP, not necessarily. The trade is reversion to the mean. And if we start accepting price, if there's price acceptance going into the close and we kind of hold, I think this structure right here, this is what I really honed in on. This structure right here where we step up back above 444s, back above this aggressive sell candle. And then look how clean this consolidation starts to hold, right? I was like, I only covered less than 5% on this bottom way. That was my issue. And then when this started to come in, I was locked into the mindset. I was like, oh, I need to just stay short, which is absolutely dumb. right? This structure right here, I need to be getting out because this is very bullish relative to kind of pulling back into the trend, relative to what we were doing here, this relative sell candle, and we just start to consolidate on top of that for over 13 to 15 minutes, right? So I'm just like, all right, cool. That's the place that I need to execute on. Anyways, we can continue to look at some of these crazy opportunities and plays in the market right after we get back from Madero.
Yeah, Bitcoin, I mean, up, but not really too crazy here. It is rejecting that $112,000 level pretty cleanly, basically back here at the low of days. Will we close in this pseudo topping tail formation on the daily chart for Bitcoin? I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But I do want to share a story with you guys that I mentioned earlier this morning, too. It was also on our watch list, and I think it's pretty interesting in the crypto space. Now, JPMorgan JPM here, according to Bloomberg, is going to be allowing Bitcoin and Ethereum to be used as collateral for loans. This is a big sign here of bank acceptance for crypto. Now, apparently this is going to be for institutional clients, and this would be a program once it starts. And again, it's just reported, so not confirmed yet, but this program would be offered globally, and it would rely on a third-party custodian to safeguard these tokens. This is the crypto space. Of course, they're familiar with banks. This would not be JPMorgan's first foray into the crypto space with regards to loans, because JPMorgan previously allowed or announced that they'd be accepting crypto-linked ETFs as loan collateral. So let's see if they actually allow people to use that Bitcoin and Ethereum holding as collateral by institutions. Again, no confirmation on this yet, just a report, but interesting look. Ethereum here on the daily chart continuing with this higher low, lower high pattern as we continue to consolidate near all-time highs. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Adair. I'm still sitting in that IBIT trade. We took 66% off. I'm sitting on that last 30 to see if we can catch that fill at 62.85. Just running through things, we mentioned that essentially we're long here on on our algo. I want to see if it picked anything else up, any specific names. No, it didn't grab anything on Tesla. We went over the Qs. AMD, it might have, but the thing is the criteria of the go is really, really strict, which I think at some point is just going to increase. So essentially what my thought process is, the less trades but the higher accuracy and the less frequency that it's going to trigger, the more profitable it can be within a long run. And I was running tests from a year out, and yeah, it's pretty phenomenal in my opinion. So I'm having a lot of fun with that one. So yeah, here it is, guys. We're posted up at 86s on IBIT to see if we can catch a fill. If it comes back to the break even, then we'll just get out. Considering that I was averaging up, my average, as soon as I start to piece them out, my average will go up as well too. So that's going to be first in, first out. Let's take a look at DVLT. A lot of people in the chat talking about it. Wow, that's a Sharif trader for sure there, Obi. Big time move. Yeah, wow is right, Assassino. Excuse me. Paying all the way up to here. I mean, from those pre-market lows, that's 37%. That's a nice move. So parabolic, we'll call this one without any form of question. Let's take a look at NEGG. Someone mentioning that as well. And then we'll take a look at Healy. Liquidity issues, obviously, with Newegg. But, I mean, you can't complain about that. Opening up around $47 up to $62. That's a big-time move. Nice work there, folks, if you've had the ability to participate in that. Helen of Troy, I know this is a real estate. I'm pretty sure this is real estate. It's not liquid at all. So just be cautious of that. You can see in the pre and the post market, there's not much. And then even from an intraday standpoint, the volume doesn't really pick up. So for me personally, I need to see a couple million shares traded on the intraday session in order for me to get involved with. This reminds me of like blue ocean trading kind of, but I mean, even blue ocean at times has a little bit more liquidity. Yeah,
definitely.
Were you grinding? Were you grinding anything last night?
Not blue ocean.
Yeah.
Definitely. But
you were grinding.
Yeah, I mean, just Blue Ocean, I think just on the earnings day, I think it was good. I didn't really participate on that day, but I was watching. It's funny, Jose and I basically, you were here that day. Jose and I just sat, just talking shop until about like 10 p.m. And then
the day that I left,
Tesla
a little early.
Yeah.
You guys were killing. You guys stayed till 10, man.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, those conversations like that, we lose time so easily, man. Yeah, no, I looked at the time. I was like, oh, it's already 10. Yeah, I gotta get going. I'm hungry as well. But the thing was, I told him, I was like, there was part of the conversation where I was like, yo, we can just go grab some food and then just hit BL and just chill right here.
Yeah.
And then we were like, nah.
And then you made, yeah, at that point you're just like,
let's just go home. We're getting tired. I'm just like, I like on the way back, I look at my phone. Then IONQ news comes out.
Oh yeah.
The Rigetti IONQ where they're like,
that was crazy.
Trump's talking about potentially taking a stake in quantum, and that. Talk about intraday news, intranight news.
Yeah.
Was absolutely wild. Like
Jose messaged me.
If you have news algos like that are doing the scrapings and getting involved in Blue Ocean, you had the best fills. That stuff went like crazy. Let's take a look at this. I'll show you. Yeah, I mean, you guys can trade this on I think IB. You can trade it on Robinhood. You can trade it on a bunch of different things, and they're opening up. What do you call? They're opening up Blue Ocean for a lot of different brokers and participants, right? So this is what happened, right? Doing nothing right here. Like it's doing absolutely nothing. Maybe just barcoding low volume. The news comes out. The bid steps in. 55.40s is the reference low. Is that specifically the low? Let's get specific. What is the low here? 55.41. Boom. In 3 minutes, we're up to 61. Let's just go to a 1 minute chart to see actually how long you had for that potentially to come in. So we pull back into 60s, and then we take the next leg. So I think if you're missing the first couple of minutes, you're looking for the bid to step back in, and that $60 hold. I like that as well. And then the break through the high of the reaction, 62s takes you all the way to 66s. That was some wild blue oceans, and yeah, you don't want to get stuck on the wrong side of it because of the quote unquote illiquidity. When things go very strongly in a direction in blue ocean, they kind of keep going for a little bit, which is nice until they don't.
Exactly.
Right? Look at the turn
what I was saying
here.
yesterday.
Look at the turn here. You're like. It just slaps up. There's obviously clearly a seller. This is BL. This is that day. IONQ on the quantum news. There's obviously someone sitting up here. Right, it comes up with aggression and just gets slapped. It's like running into a wall, right? It's literally running into a wall. You observe that comes right back in, potentially giving you more opportunities to risk against Buddy that's holding 66s, right? And then it finally kind of comes in. That never really breaks, and then we get that reversion that we've been getting as well. And I think Tesla as well. Tesla during earnings, that was pretty nice. You can see the relative volume that it did. So that was all the way up here, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, that's right there. I was like, yo. So yeah, this was really nice. You can see all of that relative volume, doing decent volume on something like a Tesla. You can see here the bid steps in 422s, pushes. The chop is crazy. From this high, 425s to 422s, and then boom, right here, 429s. Jose and I were looking at this in and around here, and then we kind of stepped off the plate when it kind of topped out at that 425s. We're like, all right, cool. Nice. That was an interesting move, but yeah. That's Blue Ocean, man. Blue Ocean.
I didn't even.
Seas be rough sometimes.
Yeah, seas
when
be
they
rough.
come, it can be.
But I mean, when the moon is not pulling too much gravity on the old oceans there, it's nice smooth sailing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's good stuff. I didn't get to see your trade of the day here.
Oh, you want to see my?
Yeah. What you traded today? Yeah.
So we talked about that Tesla in the pre-market. That's what I was going over earlier. So Tesla 446s that held, and I think that if I was observing 446s hold pretty well in the pre-market, that can be as a little bit of that can act as a little bit of an over/under or like a pivot point where I'm like, okay, if we can sustainably hold before or under 446s, then that's a bit of a pivot point, and maybe even if I'm not getting involved, I'm looking for reasons to sell below, and that VWAP test was quite nice, but that's not a trade that I took. AMD is one that I took, and AMD coming back into VWAP here, so this is what I was talking about. This rush, this opening rush here, we'll go to the full screen. This opening rush was absolutely crazy.
Big time.
244s all the way to 250, so almost a $6 run. If you're counting it from the lows, 243s to 250s, and I was like, okay, all right, I want to see those 250s come in. I like that. We've been seeing breakouts happen pretty aggressively in this market, so I'm like, I try it aggressively on the initial, and you can see I stopped out on the initial, and then I sized down, and I was like, all right, I don't know if this is gonna go right now. I have no idea, but in the bigger picture of things, I think that the probability of pushing that 250 is definitely there. So I'm kind of accumulating inventory at prices that I like for that push, and that push does come in, right? That push does come in. I do well to get more aggressive on the right side of the V there, and even through the breakout, didn't really hold through this. I think I could have gotten like maybe another $1 there if it pushed 252, but when it kind of started chopping around and there was no strong follow through, I was looking for a strong follow through, I kind of punched out there. Definitely could have held a little bit more for another $1, but that's fine. It's just another $1. I think the bigger issue here is not re-engaging on the VWAP continuation here, where it gives you that same trade once again, but now with a much better bid, now with a much stronger and more linear bid that just goes and just trains through that high. Just chug, 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 choo, choo, through the high. Boom, 253s. So, you know, right. AMD, advanced money duplicator. That was the one. Oh, and another trade, one more. I had Ford as well. Let's take a quick look at
Ford.
Ford here. Boom. Let's see what Ford's up to. Okay, all right, much higher. Let's go. Ford is continuing. So I liked the long initially, so I did get long here. Is this a 1 minute chart? All right, cool. Let's
zoom in on that, John.
We'll zoom in right here. Boom. So I get long on the 13 break. I was hella late to this one. I was watching it like 02s, 05s, and I was like, I kind of want to get in this. I have to get into this. Like 13 was the place. Maybe even some of these pre-market highs was the place. This is earnings day one on the stock, and I only take it for about less than 10 pennies and just leave so much on the table. A little bit of selling here, a little bit of hold on top of that 55. So I get a little short here, looking for that pull in, looking to get more aggressive if we break down this consolidation low at 1340. But that doesn't really come in. It comes in, pushes the high, and then stops me out. I'm like, all right, I'm more than willing to be wrong on this, because I think the trade is still continuing from the opening range breakout here as well. So that's what I traded. Ford, Tesla, and AMD, and I'm looking for the next trade. So that's what I'm here for. Where's the next trade? We'll be right back from Madera. Okay, all right, no worries. We're just gonna fix some mic issues here. But yeah, so I'm looking at those same stocks. I'm looking for Ford to kind of take a little bit of a turn because of how strong it is. You can see here, it's just on like a 15-minute chart. Let's quickly go to this one. Oh boy. All right, so yeah, so 15-minute chart, you can see how strong it is. So when that selling does come in, I do want to participate here, but this is very strong. We know what GM did as well, right? I think we're ready for Adara now.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Take a look at FXI or maybe some of these rare earth plays, seeing that the U.S. Trade Representative, USTR here, initiating a Section 301 investigation on China Phase 1 deal. Unclear if this is reported or confirmed. If I have any more details, I'll certainly keep you guys posted. But again, FXI, China, any Chinese tickers or anything within the rare earth mineral space, certainly going to be in watch here. USTR, again, initiating the Section 301 investigation under China's Phase 1 deal. Back to you.
All right, cool. Just texted and just mentioning my boy Nimrud telling me, talking a little conversation there. Okay, yeah, Nick, hey, patience now, my younger, what was it? Patience, young grasshopper. No, in all seriousness, guys, I'm all out. I wanted to break some things down, but Nick Nazori was asking me about MP materials, so we'll take a look at that one. There might be another opportunity to get a little bit long here on some IBIT. I do like that hammer in the failed established low, so we'll start really small. I'm going to go at approximately 10% of what I had on my previous full position, right? So I was red on the day, and then we went red to green on that one IBIT trade. Let's see if we can get something else rocking and rolling. Now, as for MP materials, guys, a lot going on with this, obviously with China trade talks, everything along those lines, 221% from the July level, which is absolutely insane, and starting to cool off a bit. I think that this is going to be a key support level. I do believe that we are headed towards 62-65, and obviously a lot of it's going to be looming between how these talks go between President Xi and President Mr. Donald Trump. So at the end of the day, MP Materials, I think it could be a good buy. Patience is really important. Let's see if we can get involved a little bit lower. South to 60, I would slowly start to allocate if that's your game plan. I always say don't go all in at once. It's okay, you have 10 grand, we'll do the quick maths very simple. You grab $2,000 worth here, 2 grand here, 2 grand here, 2 grand there. Next thing you know, you pieced in 20% at a time, and then you're built into a full position, whether it's working or not. I highly suggest to allow it to do both. You average in a couple of times, and then sure enough, if it's not working, you obviously want to have a planned out, because if you do not have a planned out, you essentially do not have a trade. Always keep that in mind. And guys, full disclosure, I bought an IBIT contract yesterday at the highs, and then I immediately got out. I bought a little bit more IBIT just right here, guys, just to add as we are bouncing, and I like the signals that are displayed, so that's positive. Maybe we can get that second bounce back into the volume weighted average price and see what we can get from there. So as for TSLL, full disclosure, guys, once again, traded 3 names, Intel, IBIT, and INTC. I already said Tesla, IBIT, and INTC. I'm wrong on 2 of them. I'm red on 2 of the names. That's going to be Intel and TSLL. But I'm green on IBIT, which put us nicely on the day. Now let's zoom in a little bit here and break down what we got going on. What's up, DJ? I hope you're having a good day, my friend. Okay, so there it is, guys. We get a little aggressive on the initial entry, and then we get out. But it says, hey, all right, there's indecision prints. Let's get involved once again. And then we just piece, I think I only took about 20-30% off there. And then I did get stopped out break even. And that was the only attempt that I've had on Tesla today. I wasn't going to fight it. I had a strong hunch. It's funny to say that, okay, we've seen how aggressive yesterday's buying was. And then today the buyers are almost borderline non-existent. That can get slightly frustrating because you expect them to participate once again and step in. But that hasn't been the case here with Tesla. But Adara, what do you got for us?
Yeah, commentary here from China saying that they're holding security talks with the U.S. Keep an eye on MP, USAR, any of these rare earth materials type plays. Apparently, a vice foreign minister is meeting here with the U.S. delegation in China. We'd already heard something to that effect. So if I get any more details here with China versus U.S. or China and U.S. together, I will certainly keep you all posted. I want to mention Open Door as well, which has been pretty strong today, now falling off a bit. OPEN, the only catalyst in this, as far as I could see, was attention again from its very vocal investor community, this time coming from a man by the name of Mike Alfred, who's been involved in the Open Army, as they call it. This morning he said that he thinks the Open has bottomed and that next stop is $25. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Adara. So I think 62.65 could be a good potential target here on IBIT. We're in that second attempt right here. And I mean, we were talking about it before. 3 strikes, you're out. But don't forget, you can have balls in baseball as well. For those who know, now you know. Well, and what's a ball in trading, Joe? What is this? It could be just a stop out at break even, right? You enter the trade, it's not working in your favor. Pardon me?
You definitely have to have the ball.
You have to have the ball, right? Yeah. You need to acquire that. So it's eventually just a break-even stop. So it's okay. Yeah, you have a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. You get to about 0.7, 0.8, even a 1-to-1, and it comes back against you to your entry price. Get out. Boom, that's it. What did I get you there on Hunter Harvey? This is a conversation that we were having a couple days ago, I know, but essentially what I'm getting at here, Hunter, is that for me on a specific name, 3 strikes, I'm out. That's it. You heard what Obi said. 3 strikes, I'm out, and that's it. If I'm wrong, well, guess what? If it ends up going in my favor, well, guess what? I took my 3 attempts. I was either impatient or I wasn't listening to what the price action was telling me. I break even on some trades as well, safeguard you cash. Yeah, safeguard your cash. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. As humans, we get attached to our positions, and it's hard not to. I get it. We have our money on the line, our hard-earned money, but at the end of the day, the market doesn't really care about what you're doing or what position you're in. So if you get out break even, it's essentially you're exactly at where you just started. So there's nothing wrong with those break-even stops. Me learning this type of trading took a lot of time. You're going to have your trial and error. It's not going to come to you just like that. But if you have the ability to adapt that, I think that skill chill, you'll be off pretty good. Here comes Bitcoin selling aggressively. I don't think this trade's gonna work. As soon as it cracks 6240s, I'm gonna hop out. So we got about 12 cents of risk right there, and then sure enough, we'll reassess the situation. We're gonna hold on to our green day because I added a little bit more, so I got about 10-15% of what I had previously did on this bigger trade. So let's get down to the 1 minute time frame. So I'm sizing substantially more in this one than I am here. Why? Because it's not participating. We have the Qs above the volume weighted average price. We have SPY above VWAP. We have MP materials. Like, I mean, that's no market mover at the end of the day, but there's other strong names that are above the volume weighted average price, and IBIT is not participating. So what does this lead me to? I was talking about it yesterday. I bought a contract on that move higher with the anticipation of continuing in the strength. We didn't continue in the strength. It actually started to pull back aggressively, too aggressively for me to therefore classify, hey, buyers aren't as engaged as I think they are. This could be a squeeze. This could be a larger participant, but you don't have that mass adoption. And we're starting to see that. And what is that leading me to? I think that we're going to see some more potential downside in Bitcoin. I do not think that next wave of buyers is stepping in just yet. Could I be totally wrong? I hope so, because I'm a very large holder of this asset class. But at the end of the day, I'm going to listen to what the price is telling me, Obi, and if I feel that it's not ready to go, I'm going to go with my gut feeling.
For sure, man. I think that's important, right? Over time, you develop that sense of that sense of gut, I guess, over time, and it goes back to the saying, like, nothing's going to ever beat seat time.
Nope.
Seat time is going to be king in terms of just like being able to, like, when I'm like trying to talk about what I see on the tape and stuff, I have like sometimes I struggle with like describing what I'm kind of working with, and it is difficult, and I have to try to get a little bit better with that here. But there is one stock that is just keeps on going, is getting better and better right now, and that, my friends, is IBM.
Ooh.
So IBM here, look at how strong this thing is. Hella strong. Like, this is a beautiful continuation. Comes into prior day's consolidation. Look at that consolidation low. Can't even get there. But if you're like, I'm going to watch this consolidation range after a strong day because all we did going into the end of the day is consolidate in the upper quartile on a name where, yeah, maybe you have a quantum bid. This is earnings day 2. Like, look at that. Look at that reference price I just talked about, 298s. I was like 300s on the horizon. Well, if you missed it, we're at 307s. So I definitely missed it. But where is the next trade? That's what I'm looking for. I'm not really, like, after this consolidation, not really in my playbook to take an aggressive push for the 300, but at the same time, I wasn't watching it. I'm not watching what the tape is looking like in here. I see the chart, the candles are pretty, but what actually happened? I don't have the full story necessarily. I like this consolidation. I like the flag that built up here. I like this breakout of 297 half area, maybe into that 300. This was very, very telling, I guess, or it might have been when it started to come in as the structure stepped in, but didn't really take that. And that's a pretty aggressive extension off of that as well. So guess what? I'm waiting. I'm like, the higher the better. Honestly, the higher the better. Because if it can push, if it can overextend even more, today is not earnings day 1, today's earnings day 2. I'll be looking for that potential reversion if it sets up the right way. That's, keyword if. But until then, yeah, a little bit of a C trade involvement here on both Ford and Apple. If you guys can see, I'm dabbling in those, giving him some room to see if that will potentially come in. Amazon's hella strong as well too. So let's take a quick look at some of these mags and Apple. So Apple's very strong, and I'm getting involved. So you see that wick shimmy action there. So kind of sellers stepping in. The tape was nice as well, but we're chopping, right? we could just sustain, hold, and then if we trade back up to here, think about all the shorts, including me, that may get a little blasted through these highs. So very, very strong on the day, broke out through the opening range highs as well as the CPI reference highs as well. CPI came in pretty hot today, and the continuation is what we're seeing here on the markets. You can see the consolidation and hold on both the Nasdaq and the ES. So if you were a little astute this morning, I definitely wasn't, you're looking for that continuation through that CPI, right? CPI, good, push, pullback. Do we accept higher, and do we actually continue? Some of these stocks are actually doing that, and Alphabet as well. Google with the breakout of of those pre-market highs as well, coming into confluence with some of these levels from before. That was absolutely solid as well. VWAP buyers are very, very strong. But without any further ado, we got Neil with the market recap, but we're going to send it to Dara first.
Here is the market today, nicely pushing to the upside. We finally got some economic data, guys, and just in time. We're a couple days here away from the October 29th FOMC meeting, where we are still expecting a 25 basis point rate cut. CPI coming in 0.1% below estimates across the board, and the market really liking this number. Market loving AMD, though. AMD now, as I was seeing a couple hours ago, the 25th largest company in the U.S. by market cap after its massive rally today. Of course, they had their OpenAI deal earlier this month, which started this push to the upside. Then they also, this morning here, announcing a breakthrough, I guess a positive result with their quantum collaboration with IBM, sending them even higher. Here's INTC Intel. Unfortunately, just went red on the day, but quite a nice gap to the upside on better than expected earnings. Now, the only thing was their guidance was a little bit tepid. And then we had Ford. Ford also gapping up here on earnings. Now, earnings better than expected, generally EBIT and revenue for their different segments better than expected, but their guidance here, which I have fiscal 2025 guidance as of the end of Q2, they've actually had to change it a little bit here with regards to their adjusted EBIT and their net tariff impact, especially with regards to the fire at one of their manufacturers or one of their aluminum plants specifically. So interesting look here, lots of earnings day one plays, of course, on watch. Make sure to like and make sure to subscribe as we send you over to Neil for his lesson of the day. Take it away, Neil.
Thank you, Adara. And just I'm going to read that headline from UMAC. Well, it's a simple headline. I just put it in the chat there. UMAC is moving because the Trump-linked company got a government contract. So UMAC going wild. But the lesson of the day is the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's not referencing the stock. It's the levels. Because anybody trading or looking at Tesla today understands how absurd the sell was when it came in off of 450 break. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell anybody that when you look at that 450 level, the last couple of days, a big reversal from yesterday, to top out at just under 450, the fact that it was resistance before the earnings, all of that led to an obvious, if you like breakout setups, are you gonna take it? It's a yes. If you like a breakout setup, I'm going to have that break. But in my note today, and certainly every time I look at one of these, specifically on a Friday, I always tell myself this. On a Friday, at the open, if a breakout that is so big at a level that is so much open interest at the 450 level, if it fails, you have got to get the you-know-what out of Dodge. And so sometimes it's perfect and it works getting out, other times not. But there's a bit of a tool that I think is helpful, which I've referenced before with regards to IPOs. Or anything, the first few seconds of the open or the first few minutes of the open for IPOs when they're opening up, and that is a 5-second chart. Because I think if you're looking at a 5-second chart, and I understand this is all moving very, very quickly, you can very clearly see like the initial breakout is quite good. Like if you're doing the normal, hey, it just gets through 450, gets through 450 here, like that's pretty clean. It never really goes against you. You're just cruising, like the dips aren't even getting back in. It's holding the higher lows. Everything is fantastic. But what's interesting about it is where the shelf breaks. Now you're gonna note that I was able to get out before everything fell apart. but the shelf actually breaks closer to 450.5 more than anything else. And then the first liquidity grab ended up being $3 down on a 5-second chart. The next 5-second candle is another $3 candle after it loses the support level. Now it's around 450 is a round number, and that's obviously where a lot of people put their breakouts, where they put their stop. But if you have a 5-second chart up, you'll kind of note that at the open, it was technically a technical break happened at 49, not 50. And then the break of support happened at 450 and a third, and not at 450 and not at 449. If you're doing a quick scalp trade, that's the kind of thing that can give you a little bit more juice. If you're playing the break to the top, it gives you an entry point where you might have a little bit more, you're getting inventory into the bigger breakout level, so you have a better price. And then you're able to at least trail out. I always use trailing stops on breakouts and usually pretty tight. That's just my style. But it might give you an area to get out where you're seeking the exit a little bit sooner than everybody else because you've got a different type of indicator. Now, this requires a lot of speed. First of all, of course, it requires access to a 5-second chart, a 3-second chart, or something underneath that 1 minute, whatever you might normally use. But in these types of trades, where the risk of a turnaround is that big, because if you caught it on the wrong end, if you were still sitting in that breakout, like on the 5-second, clearly loses support here. If you're not getting out early in that move, like you're just getting rinsed. Because I told you guys, I had gotten out and was like, oh, okay, this is not holding. Let's play the rubber band action back into this area breakout off the pre-market lows. I was in and out of that trade like a split second after I got out of my long up here. Like when I had my 450 long, I was in and out like a second or two later. I was like, that is insane. And thank goodness I was out a second or two later because it would have gotten a heck of a lot worse. So I got away with one being long today, but I got away with it because of quick actions and observing what was happening on lower time frames, in addition to having a tight stop on a Friday at a massive level. It's great if it breaks and holds, but you have to be wary if it fails right away and have the tools or a plan of action ahead of time so that you are able to act quickly and not get rinsed. Tesla easily is one of those stocks. If you're looking short, it could have been your best of the day. If you're looking long and see at it early, it could be your worst of the day. But you do have the ability to get away with one if you act quick, or at least limit the losses by observing some lower time frame charts. I think they're a great tool. Shout out to eSignal that has them. We don't actually have them on our real trading platform. That's why I love using it on eSignal, and very useful during IPOs or anything that's that halts often and it has that crazy price action. I've used it a bit on WGRX as well. Is that one bouncing off VWAP as we speak. So there's your lesson of the day. I know Tesla was a tricky trade, but there were ways to execute, and certainly using a 5-second chart might have helped some people. I think it helps me, but that's up to you whether you want to utilize that tool. Good luck, everybody.
Oh, cool. Good stuff there. Thank you very much, Neil, as always, for the magnificent lesson of the day, guys. I got all out of Bitcoin. It is choppy. I told you guys at 62.40, we were only giving it 10 cents or so, and then we got out of Dodge on that one. Shout out to the individual in the chat who was mentioning freaking lasers over here. Not too bad of a look. Now, I'm short a little bit on the TQs, nothing substantial. I told you guys a while ago, in my opinion, right, there's a time and a place for me personally to trade these, and sometime for a while, I think it was like the early half of October and the latter half of September, I was just absolutely getting obliterated on it. I was getting destroyed left, right, and center trading the TQs, trying to do certain things, and it just wasn't working for me. So personally, I'm like, all right, AC Slater to that, just avoid it. And I mean, it doesn't perform well on my Algo. The TQs actually performs very well on the Algo. The triple Qs does not whatsoever. But yeah, there goes Laser, a big time move from $1 up to $2.24 there. Sharif would probably be trading that one. We'll keep an eye over on it. As for Tesla, I'm still in that name. Yeah, it's starting to sell aggressively there. Oh, okay, I'm taking a substantially larger hit. why don't I have it up here than what I would like? Oh, no, I'm not. What am I? Am I slightly delusional here? All right, let's pull up TSLL and see what we got going on with that one, Obi. But I'm short the market, long Tesla. Don't love that really. Kind of a hedged play, but there it goes. We're getting Tesla a little pump. So, I mean, if we get Tesla to move, we have a little bit more size on the TSLL than we do compared to the Qs. Obviously, one substantially more expensive than the other, but let's see if we can get that rocking and rolling. Let's see what Mike P. the Rider, what have you been trading today, my guys? We all might be slightly delusional. Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely the case. But there's the Qs. This is what I'm talking about. It's like, how many times are you going to knock on this door? And then now it's starting to climb a little bit higher, but I'm using this as a resistance zone. I don't know if this is going to be an inverted head and shoulders, which is kind of looking like head, shoulder one there, shoulder two, and then the head. So as soon as it breaks through that previous intraday high, I'm out of that one, and that's going to be the only trade because, again, my accuracy, I don't plan on just ruining my session trading the TQs. I have not been trading it very good whatsoever, Obi.
Yeah, no, I think you gotta be aware, and I think Joe's just doing really well with that. There are days where I get a little strung on by like the price action, and I'm just like, oh, I just have to continue doing this even though it's not working.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's always good to have and build that awareness, being like, all right, well, this is clearly this is clearly not something that I do too well on. For example, like me getting involved in like a chop zone or no man's land.
Yeah. It's like the conversation you, Jose, and I had the other night.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
I think just getting involved in chop is definitely not ideal there. But yeah, I got to do a little bit better in not doing that. And sometimes it happens. I don't know if it's chop. Sometimes the signals will show up, and I'm just like, oh, this is the trade, and it just chops around, which is fine as well. But wow, IBM continuing to go, man. Wow.
Is it still going? Wow.
This thing is looking like there's probably a buyer on this thing. I can just look at the chart and be like, yeah, IBM has a buyer. There's probably a buy algo or something. You can see the elevated and consistent volume, relatively consistent. It kind of drops down, steps right back in through some of those highs, but pretty consistent elevated volume on IBM. Unusual buyer. I want to be there when that buyer kind of leaves. So when that buyer is done doing whatever shenanigans they're up to, I want to be on the other side of that trade, because sometimes it's just the only reason why it's trending so hard is because there are more buyers than sellers, of course, price action. But can we identify an unusual buyer? Right? Let's look at the tape. Let's look at the tape and see if we can see any sort of algo shenanigans here happening on IBM. So IBM trades, I'm pretty sure on, okay, it is on the NYSE. All right, so 310s potentially coming in here on IBM. I got scared for a second because it still showed me my forward chart, and I'm like, I'm not short IBM. I don't want to do that right now. But yeah, take a look at this. We'll just watch this tape here, and maybe we can observe. If you even throw up a moving average on this, you can see how cleanly it's holding trend. And let's talk about like identifying maybe a potential buyer or on the tape. You can see every time it kind of drops in, it holds, it sustains. Maybe you see the bid start to absorb here as well. I'm gonna keep an eye here on Apple at the same time. Apple both. Absolutely. But yeah, no. Let's see how that comes in. Look, 310s is coming in, about 50 lots on the ask, maybe 75 to 100-ish to get all together. And let's see how that gets taken out. Boom, taken out right away. The ask jumps to 30s, right? So if anybody's punching in on that 310 break, you instantly see sellers sitting at 30s. But if you observed, the buyers still never broke above 310. The bid stayed below 310 while the ask kind of levitated. You can see that happening in here again. 310.26 is when the bid is 309.84. Things are starting to accelerate, right? So I like that. Maybe we start to get some capitulation, right? Some exhaustion that happens to the upside after some strong buying. That last umph of buyers being like, all right, this is all the rest of the buying. Buying's done, guys. That's what I want the price action in the chart to tell me, and that's what I'm waiting for here. But the reversion on this, if it does come in with a blow off top, oh boy. That's what I'm looking for.
All right. I feel you over there. So yeah, continue to do your thing there, Obi. once again, we're in the same positions here, guys. Let's see if we can hold on to this. I got my eyes on IBIT. I mean, it's been our best trader of the day without any form of questioning. So, I mean, if it's worked once or twice, you should probably go back to it. But I don't want to be in too many positions here, considering I was red earlier in the day. We put on that one that one IBIT trade, and that turned us there, turned us green. This is just going to be a grind. Excuse me. I would be surprised if we get buyers to step in as aggressively as we want, but Apple's withholding the TQs up. I should have took a look at that a little bit earlier there, Obi, before I decided to go short on this name. So yeah, that's the case. Man, this thing, that's the reality of trading. Like, again, this is me. We get to vent a little bit here, and I think we're fortunate enough to do that is because it's like, why am I trading the TQs knowing the fact that I have not been trading it that well, but yet here I am sitting in it. So yeah, what do you got to, what's that? How's that saying go there, Obi? I'm not going to try to get it, but anyways, I made my own bet at the end of the day. So I'm going to go with that one. We're going to say, yeah, I made my own bet.
You made your own bed, not sleep in it.
Exactly, and that's essentially, yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing right now. So make money, not friends. I'd rather eat with homeless people than have steaks with snakes. Says, okay, thanks for that. Just in case you needed to know that there. I can't believe that was the first comment. I looked up, and that's the first comment I seen, and I decided to read it. If I gazed through it, I probably wouldn't have read it. But anyways, Ranger Boy Jut, to each their own, brother. But I agree with you. Listen, you can be, but you also have to face the reality. You can be as confident as you like in the trade. That doesn't make it it doesn't mean it's gonna work. At the end of the day, you can have the utmost confidence, and sometimes being so, you can be an extremely confident individual, but that can bite you in the butt as well too, because that means, hey, I have so much conviction, I think that it has to work. Do. Yeah. So by all means, to each their own. That's what we're here. You got to find your own style. I always refer someone who taught me a lot about trading, and you use this example. And we talk about the movie District 8, one of the best movies of all time that never had a sequel, but it has a
District 9.
Did I say District 8?
Yes.
Okay, District 9. Yeah, I never had never had a sequel. But you got to interpret your own DNA. Humans can't use the whatever those things were called, weapons. So you got to interpret your own DNA into trading. There goes IBIT starting to climb a little bit higher. We did get out the 40s when we were supposed to. Goes down to 37s, and it looks like the market wants to climb a little bit. Yeah, I know I said District 8. It's District 9. Sorry, geez, get over it. Anyways, but yeah, in all seriousness.
I thought there was a prequel for a second. I was like, wait, what?
Well, I mean, apparently Elysium and Chappie are all from like the same.
Really?
Yeah,
that universe.
Yeah. With there's a term that I'm looking for, but universe, I guess it is. So yeah, I love it. So yeah, District 1. But no, here's the TQs, guys. Let's take a look at that one. We're short the same, and see if we can hold up at 110.70s roughly. And now it's going towards that high of the day. We will take a hit on it, but Tesla is starting to work slightly for us. But two totally different prices. AMD ready to go. Let's take a look at AMD. Intel might crawl off the bottoms. Slight FOMO on the IBIT trade, but it's been choppy, guys, so nothing to get overly worried about that. Adara, what do you got?
Yeah, I want to talk here about DraftKings. There's some people asking about DraftKings to the downside. So there is a catalyst here, and we discussed this already, but we actually had, of course, these gambling-related investigations. Now, earlier today, FBI Director Kash Patel announcing that more than 30 individuals have been arrested across multiple states as part of this investigation into illegal gambling. Now, that was yesterday as well. It's not brand new news, but this could be a day two play, as we do have, again, gambling-related investigations happening across the U.S. in the sports space. Again, this is going to be yesterday's news, October 23rd, not earlier today, but I still want to mention this either way. DraftKings, again, on watch. That could potentially be what's happening here. Just for a little bit of context, I don't have anything breaking new, though, on these names, but I just wanted to provide some info for why DraftKings is potentially to the downside here. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, good. I see. I don't know what song that one's from, Adara, that you posted in the chat there, but it sounds good. No. Well, you said you were singing, Adara. It says
don't know that song.
No, got
it's Kendrick Lamar.
It's who?
Kendrick Lamar.
Oh,
got
no, I don't-
royalty,
I
got
don't- I
loyalty
don't-
inside my DNA. This was a single, but okay.
Oh, DNA, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know that. But there it goes. There's IBIT starting to slowly cook up there. Tesla coming back in, market going the other way. So we're long Tesla, it's selling, and we're short TQQs, and it's buying a little bit up there. So that's always a good time, right? Just a little bit of a roller coaster of a ride. But by all means, be prepared, strap in, guys, because there's going to be a lot of that, especially if you plan on having this as somewhat of a career or anything along those lines. But yeah, Tesla, more grindy. I think it's a choppy day. It's not one of those sessions where it's just steady grind to the top side. A lot of sideways price action. So, I mean, by all means, reduce the size. It's Friday. The Jays are playing. There's a lot going on. Did we do the top performing sectors? I'll send it to you in a second there, Obi. Yeah. We're going to go over the top performing sectors of the day to see where we got the most strength and if we're getting a little defensive or not. And that's not the case. So technology sector up 1.7%, utilities 1.6%, the financials 1 1/5 there, so not too bad of a look. And then on the bottom three, we got materials up just a little bit less than 0.1%, consumer staples 0.5%, a little bit less, and then the energy sector down 0.6, closer to 7 there, guys. So not too bad on some of the top performing names. And once again, Obi, I know you're out of the Apple short. Yeah, I think that's a good play, man. I think that's a smart play there. Just don't fight it. It's too strong. It's like what we were experiencing in Tesla yesterday. Just steady uptrend. These pullbacks are micro, and I think it's going to drag the Qs up with it as it's currently doing. And that's why I think soon we're going to hop out of this trade, and I might even hop out of this Tesla one, regardless if it's working or not. So there it goes. Yeah, a big time pop. Maybe this is just a liquidity grab, but something coming into the markets. I'll try to hold it a little bit longer, but other than that, I'm most definitely going to get out of the TQs, and it's coming off of my charts, guys.
Yeah, there's a top wick happening there on the Nasdaq as well. So I did get stopped out, but I'm watching it really closely now. You know, probably going to get stopped out of this Ford as well at the same time. But yeah, where's the next trade? That's okay. Like I said before, I'm like, yeah, this was a bit of a C trade, and yeah, very likely on C trades that you're going to lose more often than not. Yeah, IBM, I see you. That was a very strong volume candle, almost looking like it wanted to look capitulatory or exhaustive, but that was interesting. All right, so we got. Super chat here. Vaughn Clark saying, Obi, good shorts, but get out of the way of F, please. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Here's the thing, man. Like I said, it's a C trade for me right now, and the likelihood of it working is pretty low, I would say, right? Only about a 30-40% win rate on maybe on that, maybe if that. So I'm just kind of just chilling, just waiting for it to come in. Apple stopped me out as well, right? So I'm watching it closely because I think we are getting a little overextended, but the market, if that still keeps on trekking, then I think that that's something that I want to keep an eye out for as well here. There comes a little bit of Apple right back in, and let's see if that top wick on the market really means anything at all or not. We got another one. Ichiro Asahara. Thanks again for the great education. F Leaps I got 1 month ago is 15K in the money this morning. Congratulations, sold some to secure profit. Absolutely amazing, great trade. Thank you, Ichiro. We'll be right back from Adara.
Yeah, I just want to talk here about the market for a second. We did have this pop here into high of day. We do have commentary, and I want to let you guys know here, commentary coming from NATO Secretary General Roots, who did meet with President Trump earlier this week. He's making some comments here with regards to the Russia-Ukraine tensions. Specifically speaking here, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because he's talking about sanctions placed by the U.S. against Russia, saying that these sanctions are going to be placing more pressure on Vladimir Putin of Russia, saying that Putin is running out of money, troops, and ideas. So just again, keep an eye here specifically in oil plays or potash plays like MOS and NTR. They do tend to move on sanction-related news. So these are not new sanctions, but just commentary from NATO Secretary General Roots about these existing sanctions the U.S. placed on Russia as of Wednesday. Back to you.
All right, yeah, so you're back in that Apple short there, Obi. We're still holding on to the TQs here. The volume spike on the 1 minute time frame. Apple did start to come in a little aggressively there. So let's see if that can be sustained. That's what we're going to be looking for. 5 minute time frame. Keep an eye out on this. I look grab through here. We'll go down to the lower time frames and see what we got going on. There's my guy. There he is. Missed you guys.
Hey, yo.
I'm riding F with you, Obi. Joey, would you consider options call on Netflix at these levels? Happy CPI holiday,
Hey,
says our good friend.
Nice, nice.
Nimrud.
Miss you too, Nimrud.
Thank you. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, let's take a look at some Netflix here. Never mind my trade. We're going to go check out what our guy Nimrud is interested in. NFLX, doo-doo-doo. Yeah, like, see, that's the thing. We'll go to a daily. Never mind the intraday perspective. Yeah, I think at some point you will get those turnaround prints that you're looking for, correlate the volume. I know you don't necessarily, I don't know if you've changed your game up on that, but I correlate the volume and the price action with NFLX. We haven't pulled up our options chain today. Just keep an eye on the implied volatility. If that's still substantially high, then maybe you want to wait a little bit. What did I just do here? Why does it do that all the time? All right. All right, let's pull up this options chain on NFLX and see what we got going on there. If the at the money IV is relatively cool, yeah, okay, so yeah, I mean, you can start grabbing some of this, Nimrud. I think you'll be safe to that extent. You don't have to worry about implied volatility. You want to go a little bit further out, obviously. Go to those January calls. You're going to be paying $6,600 for the at the monies. So yeah, I think you'll be okay. This is something that you want to keep an eye on, especially after the earnings report. So yeah, rock and roll on that. You might get that bounce. I don't know what your specific target's going to be on there, but I think there's a good opportunity that it will get that bounce. Because, I mean, it's next to YouTube, it's the second best streaming giant out there, so not too bad. What's up, Rocket Ship, says Nimrud? Yeah, exactly. So I think you'll be okay if you want to slowly start grabbing some. You don't have to go all in at once, but sure enough, you know exactly what you're doing, my friend, so no need for me to tell you anything along those lines. Now, short TQQ's 5 minutes, says my good friend Gorev. We'll pull that back up. I know exactly what you're looking at, my friend. Oh, Nimrud, I don't know if you're listening right now, Nimrud. I created my own Algo finally, and I'm really amped about that there. I'm going to continuously talk about it because why not, right? It's mine. I constructed it.
And pretty solid one as well. We were going through it. I think it's absolutely solid.
Yeah, it's solid, man.
We were sitting with Jose in the Algo room and kind of just talking about it. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and show that.
Yeah. I mean, I was going through a bunch of examples on it earlier in the day. Gorev's short on the TQs off of that signal, not too bad. So you know what's funny about that, Gorev? Essentially, what I did here, it is, Nimrud. I can't give away too much. I'll tell you because you're my good friend, right? I tell you, I tell Obi, I tell Jose. But for the other folks, you got to be patient, a little bit at a time. But for Nimrud, the code is here. It's displayed. It didn't perform well on AMD today, but IBIT and some other names, the performances is absolutely phenomenal on it. We're still sitting in some of these names here, but essentially what it does is it's just going to pick it up. We can go to some of these primary entries, but yeah, it's really good. You can go to the performance. We talked about that before, and your profit factor 1.8. For every dollar that you're spending, you're making $1.80 right there, so that's a pretty good look. And then the same thing right here from a trade analysis standpoint, 50% accuracy on some of these names. What's the one that it didn't? I ran through the airline. Oops, we don't want to show that. That's the code there. You can't see the code there. No, I'm obviously being sarcastic. Not too bad. And I mean, this isn't a little bit over than a month, right? You have to take that into consideration. Again, a positive profit factor. Trade analysis, you're shooting 50% on it once again. Yeah, thanks. Why not? I appreciate that. Yeah, it's really amazing. But what it is essentially, Obi, is what I was telling you. It's just. Like, it's not that complicated. I know nothing about coding. Jose he's my guy. He knows significantly more than me. And I'm like, all right, yeah, let's tweak this. You hate, in my gatekeeping, I'm sure you meant there. Does gatekeeping mean I just keep it for myself?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
here's the thing. If you have a little bit of edge in something, and if you want to kind of keep that,
yeah,
then yeah,
I have every right to do so.
You have every right to do so.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
you know what
no,
I mean?
no.
Like, if you're in a group of traders and everyone kind of talks about what they do and how they execute, and we talk about our edges and what we kind of specialize in and what we're good at. There's so many different kinds of edge, right?
Yep.
But yeah, no, I think if there are certain strategies that are proving to be decent, I think you want to keep that a little bit to yourself, especially if it's limited liquidity, right?
Yeah.
But if it's something on like a large cap, then okay, I think that's fine. Like it's like all right, it's not as big of a deal. Right?
Absolutely,
So
I totally.
gatekeeping, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
you think the best players tell you what they're doing?
I mean, I'm more, probably not at the end of the day, but I'm more than happy and willing. I mentioned it before, once I fully get this thing operational and up and running to actual real capital, then by all means, I'll be more than happy to share it with you guys, right? That's just, I think, the type of individual that I am. But if not, then if you don't think so, then that's fine. You don't need to use it. But I mean, it's working really, really well. It's another name, Tesla performance again. We're going on a little bit more than a month. And yeah, what I was getting at is, okay, yeah, I know nothing about coding, but essentially, like just over the years of experience, Obi, I just put what was up here, I typed it into GPT, and it constructed the code that I want. So yeah, I may not know anything, but it's 5 years of what's up here. I appreciate that. Joey the Benevolent. I appreciate that there. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just 5 years of what's up here, and I just put it into words, and then sure enough, now with today's technology, you have the ability to spit it out and construct something that works for you. So once again, there's Tesla performing really, really well on a span of a month. List of trades, you go 50% accuracy on that one. Let's see how it performed on probably the king of the chip space. Performance, you're going a little bit more, 42% there. Not horrible of a look. Again, positive. Profit factor positive once again. Took a trade on it yesterday. Let's see how that reacted. That was really profitable in a prime time entry, exactly what we're looking for. So yeah, over the next little while, guys, I'm going to be talking about. Thanks, appreciate that, Carter. DJ wants that. I'm not going to repeat what Hunter Harvey said, but at the end of the day, yeah. Again, there's still a lot of work to do on it, but so far we're off on in the right direction, and I'm hopefully going to be able to maintain that. The B haters be proud of your hard work, says Schwann's Burnoff. Thank you. Yeah, very much so. 100%, man. And by all means, I'm looking forward to, if we do have the ability to share it with you guys, I'm more than willing to do so. But yeah, that's going to take a little bit of time. So yeah, be patient on that one. As for the trades, Obi, we're still sitting in the TQ short. We're still sitting in the Tesla long. You're still in those names as well too. You're going short IBM and F and Apple as well. So yeah, you got a lot going on. I'll let you talk about them there.
We'll see what happens here. Ford is hella strong. I know I'm fighting against some serious strength here. We saw what GM did, right? GM kind of pretty aggressive all day. Would Bill Ackman share it?
No, definitely not.
That's the thing.
Zero chance.
Like you want to look at some of the best players in the world. Like look no further than like something like a Jane Street, right? Or like you know guys that sit on those floors, right? Like yeah, like and I think you make a great point there. Thank you, Nick. I answered your question a little bit earlier, but why a reversion on IBM, Obi? It's strong. Dip by question mark. Yeah, no, it could go either way. Like I said before, more than willing to be wrong on this until it kind of shows me some more but I did want to participate and take a stab at it based off of what I saw because I was kind of watching it at that 310. We talked about that acceleration. We talked about this kind of fugaziness here that happened before we took out the high. So things are getting a little bit sideways and choppy, distinctly different, right? This is what I was talking about. I was like, there's a buyer, there's a buyer, there's a buyer, there's a buyer. Guess what? Just you can see it on the candles. You don't even need to be maybe watching the tape. That buyer could step in, sure, that's fine. I'll be wrong, I don't care. But when this starts to look distinctly different, I definitely want to start getting involved. That's just my way of doing things. And yeah, sometimes, like a lot of times I will be wrong, and that buyer will step in, and we can continue to the upside, and that's fine. That's part of trading. Right, so I think that's something that you just got to be nimble with it there. And where's the next trade? That's what I'm looking for. But kind of
Weeble is breaking out, Obi. If you want to take a look at that too. Weeble is breaking out too. If you want to take a look at that one.
Yeah, we'll
shout out to Adrian.
Thank you, Adrian, for that call there. But yeah, no, I think you make a great point. We live in a world where LLMs, even the free ones, give you so much access to coding and speaking with computers and really analyzing data.
Yep.
So if you want to backtest ideas, if you want to backtest strategies, and if you sit in the market and you're like, okay, I've seen this kind of thing happen over and over again. For example, I can just give you an example from today and yesterday. VWAP hold, a very simple concept, right? If you see VWAP holding off of the open during the middle of the day, during the opening session, during the middle of the day, then it's like, okay, well, if VWAPs, you can just ask it a question, be like, give me a trading strategy that looks for strong VWAP participants off of the open, then a little bit in the opening session, and then you look to execute in and around the middle of the day. Maybe that'll work. I don't know, but it's just an idea, right? I think we got some breaking news. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here on Lucid. Stock not doing too much, but I think this is worth noting regardless. It's being published by EV News, saying that apparently Lucid is starting its second production. This move is expected to significantly increase output at the facility as the EV maker works to meet its full year production guidance. LCID not caring about this story, but Lucid here on watch with that, I guess, production starting story here, guys. Back to you.
All right, Obi. Yeah, continue what you got going on there.
Yeah, I'm just watching this. Yeah, Ford's very likely to kind of kick me out here because the market is starting to take a little bit of a pullback, and Ford's just grinding, right? I talked about it earlier. The sentiment that we saw in GM was pretty aggressive as well. So, you know, we could see more of the same here today on Ford. But at the same time, I was having this discussion with my pod in the morning. I'm like, well, GM was very, very strong. I understand the sentiment that these are, you know, legacy stocks, GM and Ford, and there's a reason why they held up so well, or why GM held up so well. But at the same time, I'm just like, okay, well, what if people are looking for that same thing, right? What if that idea becomes a little crowded? The reversion wasn't there on GM. I tried it on GM. It wasn't there. Stop me out. That's fine, right? But now, the question is, if that's going to be strong, are people looking for the same thing? I don't know. What's the likelihood of it working out picture perfect in symmetry with last time? You know, even if you don't know the probabilities, you can be like higher or lower, right? Make a decision off of higher or lower. Sometimes when I'm trading and I'm in the moment, I don't need to be like, oh, that's a 30-40% probability, or that's a this. Is it higher or lower? Right? What's the sequence of events that's been happening? How has the chart been kind of playing out? How has the river been playing out? And how have your probabilities changed? And how do they continue to change with new information? Right? I think that's the kind of mindset that I'm kind of going for. I went a little bit off topic there, but yeah, it seems like Apple's trying to come in. So is IBM.
Right back up.
IBM is trying to come in. Ford still no sign of coming in just yet. But you know, Ford's. I've heard that Fords are built pretty strong. So
yeah, built. Right now, I added a little bit more in the TQs looking for that breakdown. Truck of all trades, you're positive on the day. So at the end of the, it's up to you, right? You can definitely paper trade if you want to punch keys. But also, if you really want to, if you feel that you have edge in today's market, take 20% of what you've made today and then just use that. If you lose it, then that's it. You're done. You're walking away with 80% of what you made on the session. If you put on some winning trades, well, guess what? You just made your day a little bit better. That's how I would personally go about it, considering it's Friday. I think you can definitely go that route as well, too. But there's also nothing wrong with paper trading. If you really don't want to give anything back and you feel that, hey, you're not really willing to put on risk, and if it doesn't work for you in the way that you want it to, you're just going to be giving cash back to the market. Just punch keys on paper. That ain't anything. The day's over. I set a few alerts and do something productive. Hypercube says, I mean, yeah, like this, what I'm seeing right now in the TQs is not what I want whatsoever. Like, it's literally the polar opposite. You get a little bit of a move down, instantly bought back up. What is this telling me? That it's significantly stronger than what we're anticipating. Now, I took the loss on Tesla. Tesla, that's it. We're not trading that thing anymore. It doesn't want to go long today. That's fine. At some point throughout the session, it may. but guess what? I won't be involved because I've already taken a loss and I've given back the majority of my day. And if I take a loss here on the Qs, the chances are we're going to go slightly red once again. So I didn't want to do that, but this is signaling a extremely strong market. The shorts are more difficult, and it's going to be my job to just go with what the price action is telling me and not fight it, regardless of what happens. NVDA, this is what's dragging the market right back up, in my opinion. Apple's at its highs. It's bouncing off of 263. You get that little move, but it bounces right off of support. Here's the volume weighted average price. Guess who's bouncing off of it? NVDA. What's that going to do to the overall market? It's going to bounce because it's so heavily weighted. So for me, it's a lot of chop. What I'm essentially doing is I tried to get in at the higher end of the range so that I personally am not selling at the lower end, giving myself a little bit of room just in case we get some moves like this. It's the exact same thing with NVDA. Am I going to be buying it up here without volume really starting to step in? Absolutely not. Where do you want to buy it? Bang, at the lows. Or are you selling it at the highs? That's what you're going to win. Don't forget Amazon, it's at highs too. I haven't even looked at Amazon. Let's take a gander at what Zon's up to. There it is, continuing to climb higher. Let's go through some of the mag names because I have not been paying attention to them, and that's my fault. That's a lack of due diligence on my behalf, going short the overall market and not seeing what the most heavily weighted companies are doing. Yeah. Google climbing higher. Is it a great idea to short the TQs? Absolutely not. What is Microsoft doing? Again, breaking out, and I'm short the market. For me, I'm frustrated at myself for putting on silly trades like that when you're not doing the proper process and actually entering a trade. If you ask yourself, hey, we got Amazon at highs, we got Apple at highs, we got Microsoft breaking out, we got NVDA bouncing off the volume weighted average price, is it logical to go short the Qs? No, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah. No, I think that's definitely one way to look at it here, and that goes to show how opposite we can think at the same time. Because I'm short Apple because yes, I understand that the market is pushing higher, but like maybe sometimes it's a beautiful thing being on a floor because you can have opposing views and you both make money. But it's very interesting to me to explore the mindset that people have. Even in the chat, people are like, "Oh, why are you short IBM? It's the strongest stock." Well, I explained myself, right? Look at that. That's coming in all the way, what, like $3 now.
Nice.
It didn't give me a chance to take more. Yeah, I'm still short.
Oh, nice.
It didn't give me a chance to take more, right? But it was the strongest stock. But there's nuances to that. And then nuances again, yeah, exactly. Los Players Hermanos say, why you always short Apple last Friday, midweek, this week, today too? Hey man, I dabble in all the things that run. If it's moving, I want to play. I want to be there, right? Exactly. If it's running, I know you guys have seen that meme. I'm like, why are you running? Where are you running? Don't do that. No, I don't say that. I just sit back, kind of observe the market, and I'm like, all right, cool. Here comes the drop in Apple, and the Nasdaq is pulling back a little bit. The ES is pulling back a little bit. Still within range, still trending up, still holding that uptrend very, very well, but some of these reversions are coming in. Let's see if the market pulling back will also add some pressure to IBM, even though, yes, Joe, Microsoft is breaking out pretty aggressively. So I do have that on watch. You guys know I have my splay up here, and I watch all the stocks all the time in terms of the Mag 7. So this is what I'm watching here on the Mag 7. I got my SPY, I got my TQs, I got my Nvidia, I got my Tesla. Look, Tesla's distinctly different. I got Softy, which is distinctly different. Apple's a little different. Google's pretty strong. Amazon's pretty strong. So over time, when you watch the Mag 7 over and over again, pretty much every day, stare it down, you'll start to pick up on some nuances. Those nuances can definitely, put you ahead for sure. But we go back to seat time, right? Seat time. I don't have enough seat time. I wish I had more seat time, but that's why I'm here every single day. Every single day. There is no substitute. Pretty much every mentor that I've had has said this statement. There is nothing that beats seat time. There are things that cannot be taught about trading which only come with seat time. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm kind of running on here, kind of rambling as well. But at the same time, like I said, I'm going to sit on my hands until stuff falls into my lap. Some of you guys had complaints earlier, Obi, why are you just talking and not taking a trade? And I said, well, if something that's actually worth my time, got to have a little bit of self-respect, shows up, then I'll participate.
Yep.
Right?
Bang.
Okay. So there it is.
Who hit that bang?
I didn't.
You didn't hit that bang.
No, I didn't. Here comes the consolidation low on Apple. So that 263, I was looking at it, and I'm like, all right, we're knocking on the door of that a little bit. And let's see if that can potentially come in here.
You almost got a dollar on that one there, Obi.
About 60 pennies here as of right now. I wish I had more size, but that's always going to be the case, right? It is what it is. Just got to try to get a little bit better every day. But that Tesla short, oh my God.
Oh my
Tesla
God.
short. Tesla's at 435s, dude. What a beautiful, like it told you, that first candle, like even if like I loved the long, but when that slammed down like that, it basically told you who's in charge. And then it showed like all day long. It's just like, okay, well, sellers. Like, damn, where do we stop? Can't stop, won't stop. So I also have Tesla on watch for a potential long because I'm like, oh, where are you running? Why are you running? I understand that it's, earnings and stuff like that, but at the same time, it is overextended. It falls into the category of stuff I want to start looking at for mean reversion. Anyways, let's go to Dara, see what's up.
I actually just have a fun fact to share here about Tesla OB. So you were talking about that red candle. Now here's TSLA. I didn't do the research on this. I did share a post here from Edgeful. You can find it on X at TTV Research. But apparently this year, they use the data from every Friday in 2025, and when Tesla opens with a red 15-minute candle on a Friday, there's a 75% chance that Tesla will close red that day. So really interesting look there for TSLA. Again, research not done by me, it's done by a platform called Edgeful, but you can find that post with more details on X at TTV Research. I just thought that stat was pretty interesting, and with that in mind, had to share it, because this candle on Tesla was something else. Back to you.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for that.
We both thought the exact same thing.
It's absolutely beautiful. You have an idea. You're like, oh, Tesla's been doing this. You can just run that, be like, hey, LLM, whichever one. Can you look at every, it also obviously has to have access to chart data, and if it does, you can be like, hey, every first 15 minutes on a Friday, if Tesla does this, then what happens? And then if you have a statistical, significance on that, then there you go. You have a little bit of a bias on the day. Sure, it never comes out clean, and a lot of small cap traders trade this way as well because they're just like, okay, what are the stats on some of these gap and crappers? Right? What are the stats on some of these gap and crappers? Can we get involved every single time? Which are the ones we get involved with? And they know that with back testing. They figure out which are the ones you want to fade and which are the ones you want to kind of size down and put risk off, right? So I think again, thank you very much for that, Adara. That stat is absolutely beautiful, and yeah, Tesla coming in real hot right now. So
big time.
Market's catching a little bit of
I mean, it's bouncing, man. It's bouncing. So yeah, we'll give back our green here probably as it's breaking out. I mean, guys, listen, I by no means I was red going to green, and I'll continuously grind here. Don't think I'm just talking about it, right? This is what we do. We're talking about the realities of intraday trading, and as prop guys, as retail individuals, this is the day-to-day hurdles that you face. Whether they be good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's a learning lesson. You're always consistently learning. I like what Adara brought to us. I'm going to get that information from her later, and guess what? I'm just going to type it into ChatGPT, run some back testing on it myself this weekend to see if it actually works. I think that would be relatively easy to put into code. So, Adara, what was the stat over the past year if the first 15-minute candle closed
It wasn't over
red?
the past year. It was so far this year in 2025. So only on Fridays, if Tesla on a Friday has the opening candle that is red, specifically red 15-minute opening candle on a Friday, then 75% of the time it would close red in that specific set of circumstances and parameters.
Okay, yeah. I mean, boom, it's coded already up here. So we're gonna 15 minutes. You see, everybody was like, "Hey, what is this?"
Here's another thing that
It's coded. I'm gonna do it right now.
Here's another thing that I do want to point out. Once a specific stat is given out, and a lot of people know it, you really have to ask the question, what's the likelihood of that follow through as well? I'm a contrarian. I always think, a little bit, I'm like, if everybody knows this, then is it going to be clean? Do I expect chop, or do I not expect it at all, right? So I think you gotta take some of those stats with, definitely you want to consider that. You're like, okay, it will close red, but best believe it's going to do some nastiness before it does that, right? So yeah, I think that's just important to kind of observe here. I covered a little bit of that IBM because I'm just like, it didn't give me a chance to size. I don't have any real size on it. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm just going to take the trade with my breadcrumbs. But Apple, that's the one I'm really kind of looking at here. But that's holding that 263. So yeah, it reverted to the mean there back into 263s, and the market kind of did a little bit of a chop. So we'll see what's going on here. All right, guys. And now for some exciting news out of Canada for the sophisticated traders on the stream, Katina, man. Beta Pro by Global X Canada, Canada's largest provider of leveraged, inverse and inverse leveraged ETFs, has just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs, J's and 6, offering 3 bull and 3x bear exposure to the SPY and TSX 60, semiconductors, and other U.S. treasuries. Even better, they're offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. Plus, the U.S.-focused strategies use currency hedging, offering the potential for pure performance and exposure. If you're a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca 3x daily to learn more there, guys. So yeah, I mean, there it is. We're still sitting in that one short to see if we can get a move back to the volume-weighted average price. You have NVDA bouncing off VWAP once again and starting to head towards the top end of the range. Microsoft is still holding up around the highs, and Apple is still hovering around 263. So there it is. Once it breaks, then we'll just get out of the trade and accept the outcome for what it is. Money, 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 says Smooth J on INTC. What has that one been up to? Has it bounced off of those lows? Yeah, a beautiful curl over on off of those 38 levels. So that's a pretty good look there. Now I'm just hyper-focused on what we currently have going on. Tesla, it's tough. It's funny because it's like how strong the actual asset was yesterday, but then today, no buyers are to be found anywhere, which I find kind of comical at sometimes. I was thinking, hey, maybe you get a continuation in Tesla, but that hasn't been the case. We open up around 447. We're trading $10 lower than that, so just keep that in mind. What is ARM up to? Yeah, let's take a look at that for you there, Jameson. ARM, strong arm. Take my strong hand. There it is, ARM right there. I mean, not the most liquid, right? I think if we go into a lower time frame, you're going to probably see some issues. So a lot spotty. I don't think retail's overly involved in this just yet. So there it is. But a nice channel to the top side. You can't really go wrong with that. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to hop out of this TQs trade. We'll give back our day there as it's starting to break out a little bit higher. Microsoft's continuing to climb. So yeah, we go red to green, back to red there, but just putting on risk for you guys. Bitcoin is most definitely our best trades on this session. So we'll go back to what IBIT is up to and see if it's continuing to climb a little bit higher off of the 1 minute, 5 minute, whatever it may be. Those are our time frames. Multiple bottom touches right there. Obi, look at that. 1, 2, 3, big time triple bottom possibly. But we're also starting to form some consistent lower highs. Keep an eye out for that price compression. You might get a breakout at some point. Obi, what do you got going on? Nothing much, man. I'm just kind of watching this. IBM even lower now, so that's coming in. That 310 area was very nice. It was distinctly different, and maybe instead of getting out here, I think I'm like, this was the chance to kind of get some more in here, and maybe risk to 7s or even 8s or even this structure here all the way up to 9s. If you're looking for a push into VWAP, that's $4 lower, right? So in terms of RR, it definitely kind of has to make sense. But here's the thing: I don't know if this is the right way or the wrong way. But real time, I'm not necessarily thinking about RR. right? I understand that, yes, the expected value is, like, in my head, I'm like, is it higher or lower? I know that that expected value equation has risk to reward as part of it, but I'm just like, okay, well, if I'm getting long here, just a quick, like, is the distance to where I'm looking to take this into much bigger than the distance I'm looking to risk, right? I said this before. I'm not like, quick maths is not my forte. It's not my specialty. Again, not my strength. So that's how I kind of deal with that, where I'm just like, all right, cool, you know, just give a rough estimate and just higher or lower. Is this EV high or low? And maybe that's why sometimes I have I get a little bit of a problem of like, okay, sizing the most aggressive on maybe some of the worst trades and sizing the least in some of the best trades. But I think that's something I'm definitely working on as well, because you know, over time you learn, and you guys have been, if you guys have been here for a long time, you guys know I never really used to take that many trades during the day, but even now I'm taking even less, because I'm just like, I don't necessarily want to deal too much with C trades. Sure, I'll participate, I'll take stabs at them, but a lot of the C trades I'm just taking out of the roster. I don't need those anymore. Like, I don't need to kind of waste capital on something like that. But if something really shows up where I have conviction, and I can totally be wrong on it, I can be absolutely wrong on it, but when that conviction shows up, are you putting on risk? That's kind of what I'm getting at, where I'm like, okay, well, if this is the trade, and I'm like, yes, the trade is the trade, this is the trade, it's shown up, like, how can I build that conviction over time to be like, all right, this is the trade that I'm really smashing 10, 20, maybe even 100 times bigger than the C trades, right? That's what I'm looking for. So Smooth 1J saying, YOLO the trades, OB, it ain't your money. Well, if you thought like that, then you're already kind of going down the wrong path. So at the end of the day, it might not be my money, but it's my trading, and I will hold that much higher than just, like, it's only money. Like, what, like, who really?
It's only money, man.
People care about money a little bit too much, but when it comes to trading, you have to kind of let go of that. When you step out the door, sure, you know what I mean. Like, love the money, think about it, whatever. I don't really know, don't care. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you're thinking too much about P&L, it will get in the way of your trading.
Absolutely. It
will get in the way of your trading. You're still going to start looking at your blotter and start trading the numbers instead of actually trading the price action in the chart, right? All right, so Nick Naruzi asking, what's my stop loss on F? Well, that's proprietary information. Ooh. But it's likely to get hit, I'll tell you that. It's very likely to get hit. And I don't, like, sure.
Oh, but your IBM's cooking up, though.
Is it? Where is that at? Okay, yeah, that's still working as well. But yeah, where's the next trade? That's what I'm looking at, right? Where's the next trade? The market's kind of strong, and Apple's holding up a little bit as the market tries to break out of its range. And I think, again, some nuances. If the market comes right back into the lower end of this range, what's going to happen to 263 support level that's been getting knocked into on Apple, right? So I don't know. That's you know, I'll leave that up to you to decide. But that 263 is coming in right now, so let's just let the market show us. Let the market show us what it's going to do at 263. Are we going to hold as support? If the Nasdaq pulls back, does this support level that we've been trading sideways on for the past almost hour and a half, how strongly is that going to hold? We already came in and tested it. I had some covers in there. Right? I'm like, we're coming into a support area. If I start seeing buyers stepping up, I do want to be a little bit more nimble, right? So if that continues to happen, then I'm like, all right, but that didn't continue to happen. The market blasted up, and Apple still kind of just bar-coded, right? Overlapping bars, just bar-coding, chopping around. I like that a little bit better. So Bitcoin saying, Diggity Jacobs, yeah, maybe. Let's take a look at what Bitcoin is up to. Wow, you didn't even print 95s, bro? Come on. All right, anyways. Sometimes I like to talk to the... Sorry? What is that? Diggity? Well, I know about Diggity, but I don't know about Diggity Jacobs. I have no idea.
Guy in the chat?
Yeah, it's a dude in the chat. It's a dude in the chat. Yeah. Kenneth Molina, thank you very much for the super chat. All right, so let's take a look. All right, cool. You guys see what I was looking at here. This is confirmation, right? This is confirmation, but I don't like to wait for confirmation. I think confirmation, more often than not, is it's an interesting concept. I like waiting for confirmation to really push in. Yes, for sure, I like that. But I think the tape is king. The tape, I have tape indicators will show you before the chart. You got to remember the chart is just a historical representation of what tape has already done, right? So if you're already watching the tape, sometimes, a lot of the times, and shout out to Greg because he really kind of drilled this in when he was floor manager. He's just like charts. He used to make fun. He's like charts. They actually work, right? And it's like, yeah, cool. But at the end of the day, I don't need anything other than the book and the tape because that's the information that's being printed on the chart at the end of the day anyways. Why do I want delayed information? When we're already playing in a market where information and timing is absolute edge, right? Anyways, sorry. Bitcoin, BTC USD, let's see what that's up to. I see some red flushes here on IBM. So it seems like VWAP might actually come in. That's coming in at 301s. So let's see if that comes into fruition here. So, all right. Let's see what Bitcoin is up to. I like to look at Bitcoin on a bit of a higher time frame here. So let's go to, go to a 3-hour chart. I like to work in 3s and 9s. If you guys know what's up with that, good on you. If you don't, it's just arbitrary as well, so it doesn't really matter. Some strong selling there. That was probably on a weekend. Yeah, Friday, that sell-off that we had coming into the end of, was that night? Yeah, 8 a.m. Okay, yeah, never mind. So strong selling that did come in, and then we held this 107. So I just want to go to a higher time frame right away here and be like, okay, let's see what's actually going on, even higher, right? Because Bitcoin trades 24/7. So there's a lot of price action, even though you have volume spikes and stuff. So you have to be very wary of the higher time frame and make sure you don't get chopped up in the volatility profile, right? There's a lot of panic. A lot of people panic on these kind of on this chop, but when you look at the bigger picture, that's just noise, right? That's just straight up noise. Like, yeah, it can pull back, what, 12% in a day? But here's the thing, sometimes price action happens much faster than you expect it to. Does that mean you know, well, of course, you want to, a lot of people got margin called, I understand that. A lot of people got liquidated, you know. It's rough. It's rough out there, for sure. But at the end of the day, like, does it make sense to leverage to crazy, I was going to say something else, into the 120s, into the high of the range? You're chasing the breakout, right? And you can see every time, it's not necessarily clean breakout. It tries, and then it fails. Lick grabs a low, and then it goes. Look at this last time, 100,000. It tries, it fails. So weak hands definitely getting washed out. But that's the kind of price action Bitcoin has. Right? And again, it's trying 125s, 130s, whatever. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher. But if it fails, I'm going to be looking for that next bid to pick up, right? When people are panic selling, I kind of want to, I'll provide the liquidity, right? I think that's kind of I love that mindset. That mindset, I think, I said that jokingly at the bar one time when I was like, yeah, I will provide the liquidity. But that's kind of the concept that I live my life with. I'm just like, all right, the market will reward you regardless of whether you're buying or selling stocks, buying or selling eggs or tulips, when you provide a service to the market. And providing liquidity can be a pretty good service. All right.
Nice stuff, good stuff as always. Yeah, good stuff there, Obi. As always, man, I agree with you on that front. Yeah, there goes Bitcoin. Keep my eyes on what the overall market is doing, but I'm not going to be trading the NAS or something. We'll find something else to trade without any form of questioning on that. Still got plenty of time left here throughout the session. I have some things to do just shortly after the show that I have to take care of as well. So my day is going to be ending relatively soon, I guess, so maybe not that much time. But yeah, there goes Tesla to the downside. I'm glad that we're out of that one. We got IBIT starting to head back towards the volume weighted average price off of that multiple quad bottom or triple bottom, whatever you would like to get it. But Kenneth Molina,
money.
thank you for the $1 super chat. They also asked me a question. Joe, can you see for me why INTC 0 DTE debit spread $38 and then 38.5? calls are at 30 cents when the stock is at max profit range. Okay, oh, okay, now I know what you mean by, I didn't understand the max profit range, but now I get what you're saying here. Let's see if I can, I had it up here. I don't know where it went. Okay, here it is, profit. So, I mean, so your max profit range, well, I mean, your max profit range, you max out profit at $40. Right, you're not even trading at $40. I mean, earlier in the day, you were at $40 on INTC, but I think there's a couple of things that you need to take into consideration. Guys, this is the 38.5 bull call spread right there that Kenneth is asking us about. So essentially what it is he's hedging his position 50 cents roughly. But I think a lot of this is due to the decrease in implied volatility. So the at the money, and also right now, currently you're south of your max profit range, right? So you have to take that into consideration as well too. I mean, I don't know when you bought this, but at the end of the day, you weren't risking very much, and your R to R wasn't really there either. You can see the risk to return is at a fractal. It's like almost like you were writing. It would almost be better if you just wrote the contract. So I have a smoking headache right now, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I'm getting that
headache
too. It's like a light headache.
Yeah. It's weird. You know what it's kind of giving me vibes of, man? When I told you guys.
Hydrated?
Oh, bro, I'm super hydrated. I'm on like 3 of these. I thought that was a thing. So I ate some food. I ate a banana, and then I had to ask Katina Man for some Advil. But what it's giving me here is what I'm feeling is, so I have post-concussion syndrome from a while ago. And yeah, months and months ago, earlier in the year, it came back, PCS they call it, and I would just get these smoking headaches, and it started yesterday as well too. It's kind of giving me that vibe. So hopefully I don't go into that because my life was miserable in PCS time. So post-concussion syndrome is not, it's a bad time, man. That's when you're pizzaing when you're supposed to be French frying and you're having a real bad time, for those who know where that's from. But anyways, back into the overall market, guys. INTC 38.5. Again, I think this is just gonna end up expiring worthless. There's multiple factors that you have to take into consideration on why it's not working. The decrease in implied volatility is starting to pick up. So I'm not even looking at INTC, and I'm gonna suspect it's heading towards the downside. Let's pull it up and see what we got going on there. INTC. And no, I mean, it's slowly starting to climb a little bit higher. Dang, thought you have a sober, bro. No, oh, smoking. No, not literally not like that, my friend. Like it's just like boom, 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 pounding. It's pretty bad right now, bro. You need salt, bro. LMNT salt picks. Packs will change your life, says Kanye East. All right, thank you very much for that. Thank you, Joey. No, yeah, but by all means, I don't think that one's going to work. Obviously, today you don't have much time, and I think you'd be blessed for it to get back into that max profit range. But I mean, it sounds like you know what you're doing with the ability to hedge your positions there, Obi.
Yeah, no, I was just talking to Chase the Packs in the chat, just asking about
Did you see what he
IBM.
just said?
IBM trade, yeah.
No, Chase, no, what he just said. About
yeah, thank you.
No, what he just said.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean that could make it worse. That could make it worse.
Most definitely.
But yeah. Anyways, back to the euphoria that we're getting here from the markets. That's my drug of choice. No, I'm joking.
Whoa. We went to 0 to 100.
No, I said
real
markets.
Quick. Oh, okay. All right, bang.
Bro.
Yeah. All right, bang. Hold on.
Let's pull it back there. Right?
Hold on.
Anyways, where are we at? Okay,
it's the same.
Come on, you guys got to hit that like and subscribe. Yeah, no, okay, so I was talking about the IBM trade. I think I mentioned it as well, and I was like, this is what I'm looking for, and I was like, I'm going to participate it, and I saw it, and you guys were here for it as well. I didn't take nearly enough, because I was like, this might not be ready or whatever, but again, I'm not fully 100% focused, right? My focus is diversified, to say the least. That's fine. You can still trade. It's still the trade is a trade, so I take chops off of it. But IBM had a bit of a buyer, right? This was absolutely ridiculous. I was like, okay, well, we're breaking out. Nice, solid strength continuation from yesterday, if you looked at it yesterday. But this action right here, I was like, I didn't even need to be there on the tape to be like, yeah, there's a buyer. There's maybe some sort of consecutive buying that's happening. Maybe it's an algo. I don't know. Don't care. But the thing is, you identify an unusual buyer, right? And the trade is simple. You're looking for something that's distinctly different. You see all of this, maybe you're sitting around for it, you're being patient, you're waiting and sitting on your hands. You're not being like, oh my God, this is going 304. Oh my God, it's going 306. Oh my God, I need a chase. That's great. Let it run. When it's done, it will let you know, especially if that participant is unusual, right? So when that unusual buying finishes, just like to get involved. And it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes that buyer will step right back in. And that's fine too, right? But that's one of the trades I like. And I kind of mentioned this earlier as well. I think I took a similar kind of a trade. I think it was on a Tesla reversion. I don't remember, a couple of weeks ago on the show. And it was the same thing. Elevated volume bars kind of signifying an unusual seller. As soon as Buddy's gone, of course I want to play, right? So just a concept to wrap your head around sometimes. But the thing is, you're not going to know what is distinctly different. You're not going to know what is unusual if you don't sit there and watch every day. That's another thing as well. So that's again stuff what we talk about. Like I'm not necessarily like a teacher. That's I'll leave that skill for people who are much better than me at that. But I have trouble sometimes voicing concepts and certain things that I'm seeing as well. But we'll be right back from Madeira. We'll continue.
Some potential tariff-related headlines here on Watch. I am seeing Politico reporting that apparently Senate Democrats are going to be forcing votes on repealing Canadian and Brazilian and global tariffs next week. So again, we know tariffs sometimes have been moving for this market. Nothing happening right now, but we do have Senate Democrats reportedly going to be forcing some votes next week on repealing some of these tariffs, including the global tariffs and those against Canada and Brazil. Back to you.
Sorry, this is a little off topic, but I had multiple people say this to me here, Obi. They say, you want to talk about concussions? Did you see the Revo Rempe fight last night, heavyweight? Did you see that? Was it Reeves? Right. Was it Reeves? Ryan Reeves? Oh, is he? And those guys slugged it out. I heard San Jose won last night. Yeah, we're gonna pull that up right there, momentarily. Yeah, let's get that fired up there. Assassino, bang! In Africa, a new generation of leaders is rising. The woman boss empowers them. We provide the training and mentorship women and girls need to start businesses, create change, and build sustainable futures. We've already impacted over 10,000 lives. Your contribution creates the next opportunity. Scan the QR code now. Empower the next woman leader today. All right, let's pull up some YouTube here. It's Friday, man. We're going to have a good time. The Jays are playing here. Reeves versus Rempe. We want to see that one for sure. Reeves versus Rempe. Let's see. These guys are talking heavyweight bout. We got some YouTube shorts here. Got to make sure there's no volume on it for sure. Oh, we can't. Okay, all right. We're not sure. I'm watching it here. I want to see these guys slug it out, but we'll talk some stocks in the meantime. Man, Rempe is just such a big kid, man. But I think when the Leafs were when Ryan Reeves was on the Leafs, oh my taste. He's a good fighter. He won the last fight, man. I love this stuff. What do you think about it, Katina, man? Two big dogs going at it. Beautiful slugfest. Go and check this out, man. And we got a heavyweight bout this weekend, Saturday night. We got the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the world on the line. Cyril Gahn versus Tom Aspinall. Listen, write this down right now. I got Tom Aspinall to finish the fight before the third round. Tom Aspinall to finish the fight before the third round. Yeah, he's probably favored a little bit on that one there. Yeah, it was a great tilt, man. A couple good bombs landed there on that one. So Rangers stink. I mean, the Leafs suck too, man. Welcome to the club. San Jose got their first victory last night, and the Leafs are just a complete mediocre team. Yeah, that's an average team. Yeah, it's an average team. There's an average team. I mean, there's a lot of season to go through. But listen, Katina, man. Come on. I know. Listen, I want to be positive. At the end of the day, I'm a Leafs fan. But I'm a realist at the same time. I've been playing the game. I was skating, but I was in skates probably before I could walk.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Played the game. What do you mean?
He was born.
How does that? What do you mean?
Okay, so I know this is a euphemism, but I'm a literal-minded person. How does one wear skates before one is able to put pedal to the metal and walk?
Well, I mean, you can wear shoes and you still don't know how to walk, right?
That's actually a really good point, and I will give you full credit for that.
Right,
My brain is broken.
There you go. Thank you, Adira. That's essentially what we were getting at there. But no, in all seriousness, that's probably not true, but I've been playing ever since I was a young kid, and I've been a part of good teams, and I've been a part of horrible teams, and I think I have a good hunch. And I know that I love the game, man. It's literally, it's my muse at the end of the day. Obi, I've told you this before. I love everything about the sport of hockey, and yeah, I just have a great time every time I'm out there.
I love to see the love there for sure, man. Yeah, no, I don't think I was. I don't think I can say that for anything, but yeah, I wanna see you maybe get some lessons for skating, because I'm definitely very clunky with those skates. I think the last time I skated was at Nathan Phillips.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's a good. That's a nice
like
spot.
winter time.
Oh, I know what you got going on down there.
What?
I thought you had a little date ski on the.
I mean, it's a good date spot.
There you go.
The thing is, what you know, the thing about that place is like, I almost never want to rent skates from there ever again. I just want to bring my own, because that whole process was absolutely. The line was crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
A couple of times there. What's happening here? Okay, all right. Well, if you're gonna do that,
someone's saying Circle's breaking out.
Circle, yeah. CoreWeave was moving this morning as well. Yeah. A little bit of strength in that sector for sure. All right, cool. If Apple's going to do that, I'm glad I pieced out of most of it.
You got out of it? Did it just climb back up? I got out of most of it. Like right here, we were talking about that 263, and then look, I got out of majority of it right here, just holding on to a piece, but maybe it makes a lower high. I don't know. I'm looking for those sellers to step back in, but I'm a little indifferent to the position as of right now. And yeah, real risk. I'm just going to give this last bit real risk there. See if it comes through that 264. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, take a look here at SNDX. Thank you to someone in our chat, Bovin, for bringing this one up to my attention. This one actually halted right now. It is a small cap right now, just over 1 million shares done in volume today, so relatively low volume. But FDA approving one of their treatments here for relapsed or refractory acute myeloid leukemia. So again, one of their treatments here for leukemia being approved by the FDA. SNDX. Again, not a ton of volume here before this move. Now it has been halted. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that, and even more so, thank you, Gorev, for that one. Have we put in this potential bottom here on Tesla, going via TSLL? I'm going to get involved here one more time to see if we can get this working. I mean, what did we do? How did we do on Tesla? Do we have another at bat? Yeah, I mean, we have a break even. So this is going to be, we're at full count right now on Tesla. So if we break 1970 on TSLL, then we're going to get out of there. And it's the bottom. It's a new inning at that point. And we got to find something else to trade. But I love the signal that you pointed out. Again, full count on TSLA for me personally. And let's see what we got. I love the signal down here, Gaurav. Hopefully it doesn't get blown past. The volume is isolated there, Obi. That's something that we look for. But also keep in mind there is some selling pressure within the body of that candle. Algo would not pick that up. Why? Because certain criteria that I cannot release to you. But no, not too bad of a look there, my friend. How did that IBM trade work for you? That was pretty nice.
It was
for
okay.
You?
It came down to 304s. I was watching it. Didn't quite get to VWAP, but 304 hold was nice. So I was like, all right, I don't need to kind of stick with this. 306s is fine from 309s. I was looking for that 302, 301, but if it's gonna kind of step back in, like I said, that buyer, if significant buying kind of steps back in, I want to be a little bit more nimble and maybe, yeah, look for a lower high underneath that high a day potentially for the continuation. This market is straight shot, man. Yeah, we're technically in a little bit of an uptrend, but we're seeing a lot of supply near these highs as we cannot meaningfully get through it over and over again. But nice little build up into it. We're flagging up into that level. Let's see if that actually breaks out. Wow, Ford is continuing to push 1372. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. Well, yeah. Very much like GM, it would seem, on the day on today. So absolute strength on this one here. And the market trending up or grinding up is definitely helping along as well. IBM continues to hold higher highs and higher lows technically. So I took a little bit of that counter trend, that reversion, didn't get to VWAP, but we accepted in and around here, and that's fine. 306, this is more than fine. where is my stock here? I gotta make sure it's in here. Okay, cool. That should be coming in relatively soon. Yeah, no. What else are we trading here? So
Circle's
this morning I was
breaking
looking at Circle's breaking out.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that one there. Circle's breaking out there.
At Circle, I was also looking at Intel this morning. I don't know if you guys know, but Intel reported, and it was a pretty good report as well. Strong reaction to it. What was the one you were saying? Circle?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Circle with the breakout, increasing volume into the 140 push. Excuse me. And yeah, a little bit of an intraday breakout happening here at 1 o'clock? Yeah, 1 o'clock, 1:15 here. So nice, decent continuation. Buyers were there. Let's throw on some VWAP and see that reclaim come in. It never really breaks below and reclaims. But yeah, right here, that's that reclaim hold, stepping up, stepping up, stepping up. Look at the chop. Look at the I call it like volatility profile. Like look at the way this thing moves, right? Definitely chopping up a lot of people if you're not kind of, getting aggressive at the right moments or being passive at the right moments as well. So a little bit of both may be required on that matter. CoreWeave. Let's see what that one's up to. That's not the right one. CRWV, that's the one. Yeah, some strength on this one as well. There's a much cleaner chart. Look at that. VWAP, reclaim, pulls back into VWAP. Buyers show up again, pulls back into that VWAP area. Buyers show up once again for an attempt at day's highs. So nice little push here. We just looked at Bitcoin as well. So yeah, some of these crypto-related stocks are moving around pretty nicely as of right now. Let's also take a look at BYND. A lot of people not even speaking about this. What happened, guys? This was the belle of the ball. Literally 2 days ago. Now everybody forgets about it because it dropped a little bit lower. It's kind of funny. But yeah, interesting stuff here. Beautiful, beautiful short. This was an absolutely mint short. A++. For sure. If you guys follow any sort of solid traders on Twitter, everybody's posting their beautiful charts and their beautiful P&Ls on this. A lot of home runs, a lot of PRs, and a lot of bangers on this short here as well. I took small pieces, but it's just like I'm just like I can be doing so much better. My executions were definitely a little bit sloppy. I can definitely do much better, and that's a great thing. Kind of looking at and analyzing how some of these traders took that trade. There's so much to learn from, right? Especially in today's world where you have access to a lot of this information and you're blessed enough that people are willing to share as well, right? So some solid stuff on BYND, a little bit of a backside move coming in on the day today, finally kind of breaking this down to 35s as of right now. On Beyond Meat, which definitely was beyond most people's expectations. Let's go to Adara.
Ooh.
Keep an eye here on RUM Rumble. This one pushing sharply to the upside. CoinDesk reporting that Tether's new U.S. stablecoins will be launching in December and aiming to hit 100 million users, with the company planning to invest in 2 to 3 companies for distribution alongside its existing Rumble tie-up. So in case you guys didn't know, Tether has invested in Rumble. Looks like Tether's going to be launching this new U.S. stablecoin, and they might even be investing in 2 to 3 more companies for distribution alongside that Rumble partnership. Tether tie-up here, great look here for RUM, pushing to the upside. This name does get a fair amount of retail attention. If I get more details in the story, I'll let you know. But either way, as I mentioned, not confirmed, being reported here by CoinDesk. Back to you.
Sure. Just not engaging, just writing my boy. Sorry.
Yeah, I just pull up the chart here, just kind of checking it out, see what it's doing. It seems like is it halted? I think it is. It might be in a little bit of a halt because I don't really see it moving around. You know what? I'll just pull it up on the tape here. All right. So no, it's actually not. I don't think this is halted. No, it's not halted. Or it just opened, and I didn't know. We're here, 18 to 21. Yeah, maybe it was, maybe it halted, but back into the lower end of its range, right? Let's see, can we knock on that 263 once again? I've lightened up significantly. Maybe this was an ad back in to re-engage at the same prices I like to sell much earlier, right? The seller stepping in once again. There. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm waiting for that 263 to potentially come in. A little bit of a choppy range. Nothing too crazy. Like I said before, these are not A+ setups. Like this is not a BYND. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, BYND, not the best trade or whatever. It really depends on how you look at it. Right? A lot of traders made their, like, I wouldn't, some of them definitely made careers, but they made their year on BYND, right? Even there was a pretty solid number at our firm as well on that day, right? So I don't think, since I've been here, maybe I've seen that number a couple of times, but it's rare. Right? So a lot of people hitting bangers on that BYND trade. So if you think that wasn't a good trade, I would implore you to go back and study the hell out of it, because that was an A+ setup, and that was a great vehicle to trade. If you were looking at anything else and you didn't even take a fill on BYND, maybe your playbook is different. I don't know, but you got to ask yourself some serious questions. I think that's
for sure.
That's all I have to say about that.
All right, guys, I'm long Tesla. You guys can see that off of the lows. It's holding up right now, but I think it was a JR, somebody in the chat, JB. Shout out to Josh Brown and company and a bunch of all the individuals who have the initials JB. Well, you said, Joe, why aren't you shorting it? Look at the downtrend. Absolutely, man. It's significantly, it's nice when you see it like that, and you're like, well, why didn't I do that? But that's why you just document everything and go back and take a look later. This is the meme stock ETF here, OB. $11 down here. I think a lot of people are going to be keeping an eye out on this one. Too bad stocks can't go into the negative, because I think at some point, if this had the ability to do so, it would, until some of them start squeezing. Unless you're oil, so there you go. So there it is, bang. Yeah, this thing ain't gonna. I don't know. Be patient. I want to be optimistic too, right? I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on a Friday. All right, let's do this. I was thinking this, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to pull up the old Algo and see if we picked up on any names here throughout the day. We're just going to pull up our watch list. Well, Joe, what is the watch list? I want to know. These are just a basket of stocks that I'm willing to put swing trades on. So we're going to just stop at the top of the list and go through Joey Darkness. Yeah. Hello, Darkness, my old friend. For those who know that song. What is that from? Who sings that song? I have no idea, but
I don't know.
Simon and Garfunkel. All right. How did you know that, Fabian?
Garfunkel?
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Shout out to.
I've definitely heard that song before.
All right. Simon. There you go. The Funkle. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Yeah. So let's go through a couple of names here, guys, and see what we got going on and what we picked up. NVDA in October 21st. Is this our entry right there? Bang, prime time. We like that one a lot. Let's see if we grabbed anything today on Apple OB. Anything on the 22nd? No, it took a little bit of an L there. Let's take a look at the overall performance on it. Again, not too good on AAPL, and that's just a month's time. Totally fine, picking up signals that we want to see. And again, it's not going to be green on every single underlying. You have to take that into consideration. September 26th, only one trade on MSFT. AVGO, how have you been acting? Not good of a look. Not too good of a look on AVGO either. CRM, getting slacked on CRM. That's not good now, is it? CRWD, let's see if we can find a, wow, okay. This is really, really intriguing. AMAT, let's see, bang, just getting lit up. That's not good. Palantir, give us a little something here, guys, that we can work with. All right, there it goes, Palantir. Anything on today? Last trade, October 16th. The only one that really picked up, but we can still run through some of the names, right? We'll go with PAN-W up to. It's just the most random basket of stocks, right? So performance, that's a good one there. What was the trade analysis? You go 6 for 3, 63% on that front. I don't have Tesla up on my charts. We've got to make sure we get that there, Obi. Yeah, just from a daily, it's not looking too good. Like there's going to be any form of rebound. Circle keeps going up, my man. Go with the flow. Yeah, Circle is continuously grinding. Trend Store, I won't be buying it up here, though. That's the thing. I understand the narrative of buy high, sell higher. It's always a good one, but that's not going to be the case today. Let's see what we're picking up here on hand W. See another additional entry. Where did we enter? Sometimes that's the thing. They're beautiful. They're beautiful, beautiful. Entry right here. That's a good name. We'll take that. But we're just running through what was our profit factor on this. I think this is wow, 5.9% there, Obi. That's a big time profit factor right there on that. And then also from a trade analysis, 66%. We'll take that every day, all day of the week. How's it been performing in the quantum names? Let's take a look at that. 50%. Okay, we'll take that. Solidly positive on that there. Obi picked it up something earlier in the week, Monday, but took an L on that one. 2 trades on Monday, so we like that for sure. One worked. See, look, that's the thing. When you code this, 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, it's very, very, very much important, okay? So, and also just calculate the size, a little bit more size on that one, but the winner is still substantially larger than the loser. AMD fall, what Algo say about Tesla? Yeah, we went over Tesla today. It didn't pick up anything on today. Its last trade was on October 8th. Who hit the money? Katina Man did. Oh, okay, all right. But yeah, so this is what it picked up on Tesla. On the 8th there, guys. It picked something up in September, didn't work out, that's fine. And then you head back to September 26th, picks up the beautiful signal, exactly what we're looking for. So that's a good look there. Let's go through a couple more names before we send it back to our guy. Obi, we did IONQ. Let's take a look at QUBT. How you doing? How you performing? Not good whatsoever. We don't like that. Zscaler. Let's get into some of these cybersecurity names. Bang, this is not too bad of a look. 8 for 8, so 50% there. Profit factor at 3.24. When was the last thing it picked up? October 16th. Not too bad of a look. We had IBIT as well. We mentioned this. Oh, it picked something up today and hit the target. Bang. There's IBIT. Oh, no, it's still open. Position still open, not too bad. 2 days.
Bites to bucks. Nice. Is that a new segment?
I like it. Bites to bucks, baby. Let's go. Bites to bucks. Yes. This is it. Joey's new.
Bites to bucks. Is that a new segment?
I guess it's the new segment.
Okay.
Fabian made that one. Hit it one more time, Fabian.
What's the segment
Assassino.
about? That's what I'm asking. Boom. Starting the lesson.
Bang. All right, yeah, tell me in the ear, what's the concept behind this? I'm really curious. Is it revolving around this? That would be amazing. October 14th, we picked something else up in IBIT. Right out of the open and it hits profit target. Was like, what is going on? No, I was only playing around there. Joey Cyborg, but no, we just ran through a... It's the Algo segment now.
Algo segment.
Okay, bang. You have to hit the like and subscribe after that one, Obi. What do you think about that?
That's absolutely solid, man. Yeah. I think I was telling you as well. I think building some algos is definitely the way to go. To
I love
hybridize.
it.
You got to become a hybrid trader.
Yeah, you do.
And
now, yeah.
Like I'm getting in on that as well. Okay, I've had a decent amount.
Well, that's
of
that's what you and Jose
Yeah, no,
have that till 10 o'clock on.
For sure, yeah, exactly. I'm looking to kind of, there are trades that show up. I obviously, from my trading, I'm just like, I'm not executing these to the best of my abilities.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not following certain types of rules or sometimes even taking the trade. Right? And it's like, okay, if I can just automate a lot of that, then I have a subset of trades that I don't necessarily need to monitor as closely as the ones I'm actively trading. So yeah, I'm definitely looking into that and pursuing that as well. But yeah, I said this first day I was on the show. Trading is a journey, man. Trading is an absolute journey, and you never know where this journey can take you. So it's been absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait. And I am excited for newer and bigger and better opportunities for sure. But yeah, no, the scaling in that algo room, bro. Oh boy.
Yeah. On your algo, you're looking forward to?
I mean, in terms of scalability.
Yeah.
It's just like when stuff starts to work, they just ramp it up.
Yeah, Gorv, it's gonna print the candle now because I think that was just a liquidity grab. I think that was just a liquidity grab before it continues to climb a little bit higher. That momentum push and the volume spike just screamed it, but I'm not sitting in it. I did put in a little bit more size. I doubled it up. So once again, guys, we'll go from red to green, back to red. IBIT was my best trader of the day without any form of questioning, and I didn't go back to it. Why? I don't know. But see, that's the beauty of the algo, is just that you eliminate that discretionary aspect. You're big and strong and smart, and everybody loves you, says DJ. Oh man, stop it. Stop it, man. You're going to make me blush. Yeah. That's for you, my boy DJ. You're a good individual. Yeah, exactly, Artemis. That's exactly what it is. It's a strikeout. I appreciate all the kind words, man. For all see, there's a lot of you in the chat, and I know a lot of you guys are very, very nice, but I mean, stuff like that just like makes people's day, what DJ says, and go around the board. And it's like, why not? Why would you want to put anybody down, especially when you see them losing, right? It's like kicking somebody when they're down. That's a low blow,
some people
man.
get off on that. So that
Yeah,
the whole personality
weird,
revolves
man.
around
Weird,
that.
weird,
That's fine.
weird.
Humans are all sorts of creatures, right?
Weird.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, Jody. What's up, Jody? Lots of...
It's interesting. Like, I love, I spoke on this before as well. Like, psychology was one of my favorite subjects when I went to school, and that psychology, when you kind of start to think like that, you start kind of like psychoanalyzing pretty much everybody and everything. Yeah. It's very interesting. Sometimes people live on that. But at the end of the day, you just get, like, who cares? There's always going to be people who are straight up haters, but it's the people that give the love, like you guys.
Yeah, that's it. That's all that matters, man.
That actually matters. You provide the value. You're providing the liquidity.
Yeah. They're probably the love liquidity, baby. We like that one.
To all you guys there. Yeah, exactly. Julia's journey diary is absolutely correct, right? There's certainly some issues there that are happening that are probably more internal, and projection is outward, right? And I think that, a lot of people just project, and that's fine. I'm not going to be a projector screen, so bad pun. Market's still grinding, man. Absolutely nothing happening here except for Ford continuing to push higher. So I did get stopped out into that last quarter, that 75, get stopped out and pushed up into that 13.8. So that's absolutely strong there. And Patrick, thank you very much for that super chat. Gratitude for Obi and Joseph. LFG.
For those,
LFG for sure.
For those who know what movie this is from, let's see if you can get it, Obi. Okay. It's actually pretty tough. Pretty tough.
All right.
Where does the term "everybody love everybody" come from, or ELE? Semi-pro.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Just in case.
Nice.
All right. Just in case you guys were wondering, there it is. ELE. Everybody love every. Anyways, it's from a scene that team's arguing on a bus, He's like, Will Ferrell turns around, he's just yelling at everybody. And I remember when we used to play basketball back in the day, we would always be like. We'd be like, we had a friend, his last name was, I'm not going to say, but it rhymed with Monix, who was one of the guys, what's his name? Woody Harrelson played, and we'd be like, Monix, nice backdoor cut against the Migos last night. And then it's just a phrase from the movie. And then whenever we would get tired, I'd be like, Coach, I'm going Rover, Coach, and just like do nothing essentially. Yeah. Have you seen Semi-Pro?
I have not seen.
Oh my God!
I haven't seen a lot of movies, dude.
Oh man,
I've seen some movies.
That's crazy.
I like the Matrix movies. The Matrix movies are some of my favorite.
Good. Yeah.
And I guess I grew up reading and watching a lot of Harry Potter, so I'm a little bit nerdy there. Harry Potter.
I like the Matrix.
Star Wars.
I
like Star Wars, but I'm not like I'm not like a super fan. I don't know the lore as well, but I enjoy the movies for sure.
Yeah. I got a question for Neil.
Yes.
Neil, are you a bigger Star Wars fan or Jays fan?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's
he's coming in. He's
Star Wars
hot,
or Jays?
Man.
Let's see.
It's the Toronto Blue Jays.
Ooh.
That being said, there are three things, and you would know to put a third one in there, but the third thing that you got to throw in there would be James Bond. Ooh. And they all have something in common. I went to my dad came to Canada from the West Indies, big cricket fan, and baseball was kind of the thing to follow. So he started following baseball. I fell in love with baseball with my dad. Also, Star Wars, he took us to see science fiction stuff when we were kids, so I saw Star Wars in the theater and became a Star Wars fan with my dad. And then he was a huge James Bond fan, and so we watched all the movies together. So like the passion I have for it stems from the fact that I go to a ballpark, even if I'm not with him, and to me, it's just like the greatest feeling in the world because I go back to those memories. So it's impossible. And my wife, who's a huge Jays fan, same thing, but it was her granddad. So like, we're both diehard because our families got us into baseball, and so hopefully my daughter will be the same way. The other thing though is you kept saying semi-pro.
Yeah.
That's actually, I was telling Sean, because Sean hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
It's a surprisingly funny movie. I gotta watch it a second time.
Yeah.
The other thing that's insane, I want to take this back to the market for a second. I gotta be, like, what is happening on Tesla was one of the best fake outs that I think I've seen in a very long time. Like just because the anticipation, you go back to yesterday was like the most FOMO long trade after the earnings, and then setting up that 450 break, like that was one heck of a trap that got laid in Tesla. And I think when we come in on Monday, like ultimately, like that's a stock that you better pray it doesn't see 420, because I think like that level was supposed to be a big one, and if it loses that, it's in trouble. I cannot believe how heavy the selling was when that 450 break failed. And I'll kick myself for not being short, but it's like, thank goodness for getting away from that long. Because it's insane.
The
other thing too is I don't know if you guys have watched Beyond Meat.
Today?
I don't think people notice how far that one fell down. Anyway, check out the chart. It went crazy.
It goes Tesla putting in a new low of the day.
Right off pretty aggressively, right? But we'll just take a look at BYND in a second. But another place you guys can look at some of these charts is e-signal. So traders, listen up. First month, it's free. That's right. We are waiving fees. So trade smarter, not harder, and upgrade to elite. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. Our platform, it's everything. Infinite data, instant trading, lightning fast market insights, game-changing charts, predict with backtesting, reliable, real-time data, global markets at your fingertips. It's an all-in-one platform, so don't miss out. Execute your best trades now. Ready to elevate your trading? Scan the QR code or check the link in the description. All right, so yeah, BYND, Neil. Yeah, that's one, definitely a beautiful, beautiful backside on this one. Great initiation of a swing, maybe in and around here. We kind of talked about, is my stuff still on here? Yeah, there you go. These are my indicators from not day one, but day 3 gap on that push. You can see I was just like, yeah, best place to get involved in and around here in the pre-market if you were there for the short, right? Arguably the long had already been coming in pretty nicely, and shout out to some solid players that got into the $1 push. Right? It was an absolute banger, 8 times, almost 9 times in the course of a few days. So absolutely solid long, but a little overextended. And when that selling comes in, I think this was the second best place to get in right here into this push. I think I remember going short and then maybe taking a little bit long and then not really. I think I missed the short here. I tried to re-engage into this little chop here because I was like, oh, this looks like it's about to go. We've broken trend and we're holding the bigger picture trend on the intraday, not the bigger picture trend from the multi-day, right? So on the bigger picture trend of the intraday, there's some supply up here. It pushes up pretty aggressively. I was in this. I actually got stopped out and then punched right back in for a little bit of a pullback, but this was the area to really kind of start, and then this right here really kind of leverage. And I think this spot right here, because I didn't expect this second leg, and I'm sure that a lot of people didn't expect the second leg either, but I don't know. But this little scalp into the low, I think that was absolutely solid as well. Even if you missed a lot of the rest of this, there's some really strong high EV opportunities on this chart, and that's why I was like, I implore everyone, and including myself. I think that I haven't studied it enough, but yeah, this was an amazing A+ opportunity for sure. What's up, Adara?
Take a look here at LXEO. Now, volume on this is pretty minimal, around 400,000 shares traded on the day, so pretty light. But as you guys can see here, getting a bit of a pop on a bullish note from Guggenheim. Unclear if this note came out pre-market, as a lot of these analyst notes often do. But either way, it's being circulated right now on X, with Guggenheim saying that they believe the stock could potentially trade up to 10 times higher than its current price. So LXEO with a very bullish note from Guggenheim. Back to you.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
good stuff.
Where's the next trade, guys?
Yeah, I mean, where's the next trade?
Are you looking at anything going into the end of the day here?
You know what, Obi? I'm honestly not, man. I'm gonna be frank with you. I'm looking for something. I'll look for something on Tesla. Sorry, I won't be anymore because we took our strikes, right?
Yeah.
We took our swings. They didn't work out. This downtrend is completely, fully intact, and this is what I'm referring to. We got a little pop in some of the names in Microsoft and NVDA, but until this is broken, then I think we have to go with the fact that, like, hey. Tesla might not be a buy. Anything can happen at any given moment. That's the beauty in sports and obviously within trading because you can just get a big time pop. But there it goes. I mean, you give back a little bit more than half of the move that we experienced from yesterday, right? So a nice move from 414. And we give a little bit back. It went up to 448, and then it just kind of rejected it at those levels. Why? What's our high here, actually? 451.29. You know what we got to do with this, and we should have done it substantially earlier, and then I think that would have told us a lot, so that's my fault as well, too. So let's pull it up here on the chain. All right, let's see what 450 is.
What is that? Of course.
Of course, man. Of course.
There may or may not have been supply up there.
There was so much supply, man. Yeah, I mean, Jason, it is, man. It is 100%. I'm not, but it's a small one. I'm literally down a third of what I made yesterday. So that's it. Yeah. That's exactly what Obi is saying here. And guys, that's why we look at high levels of open interest because it's essentially a supply zone that we're experiencing at that 450. We go up to 451 and then price just gets flushed all the way down. I should have looked at this significantly earlier, but that's okay. We all make a mistake here and there. But that would have told us a lot, especially after you didn't get a rebound or an additional test of that specific level. So keep an eye on that 450. Has it rolled over to next week or has that dropped in increments and gone to a different strike price? Nothing that we're seeing right now. So yeah, but let's kind of compare this with a strong name. And if you want to talk about options activity, most definitely one of the more liquid ones is going to be AAPL. All right, so you can see at 265 up, that fan went off. That I heard that's never
dead silence.
I heard that's never a good thing, but we'll wait and see. But anyways, at 265 there on Apple, we're just a little bit above that. 36,500 contracts at that specific zone, and 120,000 traded at that level. Now we have at 262.5. 22,116. So a little bit of a supply zone. We are north of that 262 area, which can be significantly telling. But I think a significant more demand is going to have to step in order for us to break through 265. Now that's zero DTE. Let's go over to the Halloween expiration cycle. Obi, have you thought of your costume or anything along those lines?
I don't know. I think I have to kind of get on that this weekend.
Okay, you're going to get on that. Go to the Halloween.
How about you?
I have not. I mean, I don't. Yeah, maybe on Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll make a day of it and go to the Halloween warehouse in Etobicoke. You ever been there?
Like for costumes?
Yeah.
Maybe.
They got,
there's a lot of pop-ups.
Yeah, there's a lot of. No, but it's like a warehouse. You're there every year. Yeah,
really?
Big one. Yeah. It's a pretty big one there. Just off the corner.
Send me where that is.
Just off the Gardner there.
I was just thinking of just ordering something on Amazon, but they don't have a large selection, and the premiums are crazy because I follow price charts on Amazon as well for certain products, and I'm just I make sure if I'm buying something, I look at a price chart of it, historical price, just to make sure I'm getting a relatively okay deal and not necessarily overpaying for stuff.
Yeah.
Some of those price charts, they start trending up going into as the closer you get to Halloween. It's pretty funny, but hitting up one of those warehouses definitely would be much better. Apple back at its highs.
Yeah,
man. Great reason to buy at that support low. Quick little scalp. Didn't really come into fruition, right? I was looking for here. It didn't come in, and that's okay. I'm more than willing to be wrong on that. Ford was definitely wrong on that. That stopped out. That's fine. Where's the next trade? IBM. What's that up to? Let's take a quick look on IBM as well. Boom, right here. Okay, so yeah, I think that's solid reason to buy as well on this, because you're breaking that short-term downtrend. The buyer has been pretty aggressive, not only just today, guys, he was there yesterday as well, right? That participant was definitely very, very active, or maybe it's the same one, maybe it's not, who cares, I don't know. The buyers were active, right? So here's what I'm looking at right here. So very strong on earnings day one, holding that upper quartile and that range, pre-market stepping up as well. When I look back at this chart, I'm just like, oh man, I just had to be involved in this one. I even had it on my top list of daily ideas. We all kind of post in the Discord what the top ideas were, and mine was Intel, IBM plus quantum names, but IBM, and Tesla. I was kind of busy with Tesla coming into the open, as I showed you guys earlier, but IBM was definitely the one to participate in. Even if I missed this, we can kind of go back onto this and talk about like potential opportunities. Even if I missed this opening range drive, prior day high pickup, or the dip and rip or gap give, whatever you want to call it. It didn't really gap, but you know what I mean. The buyers step back in. Buyers step back in, pushing through the highs. If you missed that, I think this area right here would have been pretty interesting, even though it kind of started breaking and grinding up. I talked about this, and I was like, 300 is on its way. And then next time I look at it, it was at 306s. I was like, all right, cool. If that breakout happened and there's continuation and we're getting some unusual buying kind of signified both by the chart and the volume, and maybe if you're watching the tape as well, that came in pretty nicely. So the short, I think, short scalp was there. 304s held pretty well, and then stepping back in. But yeah, you don't want to necessarily fight this too much, even though it is kind of overextended. We did a breakout of the reference high on day two after selling off aggressively, closing with a 50% reversion, and the price action following through for the 100% reversion the next day. And not only that, you break out for another leg, and the grinding buyers that kind of take us there. That was definitely unusual. Absolutely solid. Didn't want to chase that 300, but I think that 310 to 306, 304 was pretty decent as well. But the market is also bidding up, right? You don't necessarily want to fight it too crazily, but the market, you also have to kind of respect that in a sense as well. And we heard Joe talk about that a little bit earlier. If the market is trending, then yeah, some of those shorts you do have to, even like, my thing is, even if I'm getting involved, I have to stay as really, really nimble as much as possible, especially on something like an Apple that's one of the market leaders, right? It is literally one of the top constituents of both the ES and the Nasdaq, right? So it's going to have a little bit of a beta when it comes to price action.
NVDA is breaking out, eh? You see that?
Yeah, it's, well, you got that. It's still got about 50 pennies to its opening range highs, but it's trying, definitely. And I think that if the bid actually comes in and the market breaks out with some sort of an umph, yeah, that NVIDIA high day 160, 168s can definitely come in. Another name that I was watching in terms of quantum, which is obviously looking distinctly different from IBM right now, is IONQ. Right? IONQ through the day low as of right now. I was looking at this through the day low. It's kind of chopping. It didn't go right away, so I didn't really do anything much with it. But take a look at this. Nice little reversion coming in off of the morning bid, and then that selling stepping right back in on something that attempted to push yesterday. Look at that relative volume, right? We had the news that, we had the overnight news that potentially the government is maybe taking a bid or a stake in quantum. Right? And there was a bit of a shake and bake with that, kind of going back and forth. Maybe it was a deal, maybe they're just talking, who knows, whatever. A little bit of a shake and bake. So you can see when that news was kind of pulled back, that's that aggressive candle right here at 63s. So supply already kind of showing itself intraday on that. Even if you didn't know about the news, you're just like, okay, I don't really care. I'm just going to go with the price action. Then yeah, sellers coming in and around those levels. What was that? I just want to put in a bit of a horizontal line here at where they came in. You can see that's at 62.92, and you can see supply kind of, we attempt to push, but this is a bit of a struggle, and it pulls back in underneath VWAP at day's lows, and maybe poised for a bit of a range lows as well from yesterday. Yesterday we had a pretty wide range after that initial sell-off. The continuation of VWAP was absolutely solid, and maybe we found some support at a key level from the past at 57. But yeah, quantum names have been absolutely solid. Trading vehicles as well. But I'm waiting, I'm watching, looking for the next trade. And Ford continues to go. I think we could very well see 14s. Very well see 14s. That's about 13 pennies away. And this thing broke out of $13 at the beginning of the day. So yeah, an aggressive move on this one. Let's see how much, what percents we're looking at here on Ford, if that can potentially come back in. Let's see here. All right, so yeah, we're up about 12.3%, almost 12.5% on Ford. This name usually is not that volatile, pretty tight and choppy. But today it's very directional. Very strong, and the buyers are definitely here. So a very strong report that's being digested pretty well with the market. So those are the names that I'm watching. I don't really see anything too crazy as of right now. And like I said before, what's up, Sean? Yeah, some of the best trading for me has been happening when I don't do anything, sit on my hands and wait for stuff to fall into my lap and just take the trade.
Yeah, precision. Right? Precision and patience. Wait.
Gotta be a sniper.
Yeah, he's an absolute sniper.
And I've had this sticker on my screen. And shout out to Sniper, one of my first mentors. His Discord name was Sniper. Yeah.
Sniper.
So I learned a lot from him, and he would always say, a sniper waits for the most opportune moment.
Yeah.
And that quote I take with me to this day. That little sticky note is stuck on my screen. A sniper will always wait for the most opportune moment. You might miss, you might lose, but that patience is still required.
Very, very key.
When it shows up, you have to have the hunt.
What's that guy's name? I don't know. Have you ever seen the movie? I think it's Behind Enemy Lines with is it the Russian sniper. His name is Vitali or something, Vitalik or something like that. You got to watch that one. Or Vasily. Vasily, that might have been the
Canadian guy holds the record for the longest snipe.
Yeah, the highest
in the field. That's absolutely awesome.
That's sick,
I was like,
man.
yes.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Yeah,
was it like 4 or 5 clicks away?
Dude,
Something ridiculous.
Something absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, enemy at the gates. Thank you there. And it's did I say Vasily? Yeah. Vasily is the guy's name. Great movie there. You got to go check that one. A good old war movie there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like whenever people call about say war movies, I like Saving Private Ryan.
Obviously, SPR is one of the best movies of all time.
Classic. What else? I guess. Kind of ish. Inglourious Bastards I really like as well, of course.
Thin Red Line is a good war movie as well too. The Band of Brothers is some good stuff there, man. I was telling Shrip a while ago, man, I was watching some documentaries on the Ukrainian and the Russian war.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, they show the real deal stuff there. It's dramatic, man. It's drones now. It's just like, you gotta just run. It's pretty much just run from the drones, man. Yeah, it's big time different.
It doesn't like we have conversations about this, and like Andril's the one, right? If they traded.
Yeah,
definitely.
Doing all that stuff.
That would be the one to get involved with. But I think they do have. They do have some, what do you call, some stuff that, some people that are involved with them that I think do trade. I'm not remembering it perfectly. But here comes 1390s on Ford.
Yeah,
so definitely built strong.
So yeah, it built strong for sure. And that's why we got out of the TQs trade, right? It's just continuously grinding. We've seen this how many times before. It's just like get out and that's it. Hearts War too. But yeah, anyways, guys, we got about 5 minutes left. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of a cliffhanger here. We Were Soldiers is a great one. So essentially what I did here, OB, is I transferred a bunch of data, collecting data for a year on these specific names. I wanted to construct a basket of 50 stocks. I didn't get that quite far, but we got an X amount. And it got to the point when I'm constructing this thing, I'm like, I want to find some names where it doesn't work. Because if this is too good to be true, then the chances are it is. But I just kept scrolling and I kept scrolling, and I truly couldn't. So essentially what this is here, guys, October 22nd, 24 to October 22nd, 2025. And this is based off of the algorithm. Hit the algo thing there for me, Assassino or Fabian. It's a little bit long, you don't have to. I'm obviously being sarcastic. But essentially what this is going on is me transferring data from one level to a different spreadsheet, from one platform onto this spreadsheet to just document. And then what I will do is that, considering we have a year's base of data, is eliminate the sectors that don't necessarily work. Now, why don't I have the Qs and the SPY on here? Because, well, it didn't perform very well on the ETFs. Now, if we go and take a look at, and again, I wasn't just trying to select things that only worked. I wanted to find things that didn't work so we can go through the process of bites to box. Exactly. Thanks, Frank's Trades. I forgot it was called. So I wanted to do something like along the lines of process of elimination and just get rid of things that do not work. And as you guys can see, we have the JETS ETF, UAL, AAL, and DAL. So out of the 4 airline names, one being an ETF and the others just being actual stock, 3 of them didn't work. So what can we do here is maybe eliminate this whole sector. But with that being said, what did I do? I went back and I looked at some of the previous charts as to why, hey, why isn't it underperforming? Let's pull up DAL. Why is it underperforming a lot of other names? It's just a completely different sector. Well, the choppier the price action and the less directional it is, the less it works. And then in the month of February to April, the algo didn't perform well at all. Why? Because it's essentially grabbing things off of the lows and looking for bounces. So do you shut it off in downtrends? Absolutely. Anything north of 20% down, I think is a good time to turn it off. Yep. And then months later, you can turn it right back on. So once I get that those 50 stocks completely, all that data transferred over, I have to obviously do the cumulative P&L, accumulate everything else, and then I'm going to send it over to Jose, and Jose is going to work on some things for me as well too, including the profit factor. Profit factor is extremely important too. So.
Yeah, for sure. I think you make it a good point there. Kind of. Strategies work in certain market environments.
Exactly.
And then they don't do well in other market environments. So recognizing what that environment is, what that market regime is definitely beneficial, right? And I've come into that problem multiple times as well. There are certain types of trades that work really well. They're hot, and then they're not. So it's like over time you build those quivers. Yep. You build those arrows in your quiver, so you have more and more shots, and you know which ones to kind of use in what kind of scenario, right? Yep. It's the same thing as like we can go back to hunting, right? So it's like there's cyclicality in markets, there's cyclicality in a lot of things as well, market related, and just being aware of the hunt. There are certain seasons that you can only hunt certain types of game, right?
Absolutely.
And you got to make sure that what you're hunting is in season. That's all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally agree with you there, and that's what we were just talking about not too long ago. So, yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic stuff. I got full disclosure, it's in beta. It's not doing anything.
It's a WABIT season.
It's WABIT. It's silly WABIT. No, but in all seriousness, it's not. Guys, it's in beta right now, so it's just paper trading. It's picking some things up. There's nothing significant. I have to move it over to an API so that we can get it rolling off of that, and then I'm gonna let it run for, I think, 3 to 4 months, because we want to build a quality sample size before we put it live. So if it's picking up everything right, maybe you can get in a little bit prematurely, but until then, we got to run it, and we want to run it as thorough as we possibly can, because at the end of the day, we're all here to make a little money, as Jim Cramer would say. My friends, just trying to save you a little money. Boom. Shout out. Do you watch Mad Money?
I think I've seen a couple clips from it, but I've mentioned before, I do my best not to get external biases for markets.
Yeah. So there it is, guys.
I have a very curated list of people who actually listen to in terms of analysis and stuff. I don't want to ruin that process.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I don't know how Katina Man will feel that you don't watch Mad Money, but we'll leave that up.
I think it's financial entertainment.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Sure. All right, guys.
But speaking of that, it's time for the lightning round. No, in all seriousness, we're going to send it over to the big guys. I hope everyone has a fantastic Friday. Whether you're red or green, guess what? The Jays get to play tonight. And you know every single person in this room is going to be going, go Jays, go.
Go Jays, go.
So, bright in the blue, guys. Let's go Blue Jays. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Obi, thank you very much. As always, fantastic job, my friend. I hope everyone has a good one. But it's time to send it over to Neil and Sean to see what those guys got going on. Thank you.
Take it easy, guys.
I think that's a Teddy Rose.
Welcome back.